Andre. This is the Crash Space. It is October 21st, 20. Apologies for the drought, but it's been a busy year. So, firstly, welcome to the studio space. It's set up. This is the first time we've done any gold champions. This last month, excuse me, we did a move. So, place we did some games. So there's some space to set up. The studio space. It looks pretty similar. I'm gonna have some issues. There's better lighting. So space is actually. We'll see if the color is right. It's a bit greener. What else has happened? The America's Content Championship in Denver, which took games. But all that stuff is now done. Oh wait, I'm really quiet. Hold on a second. Manifer, how's it going? Welcome back. Thank you. This microphone is quiet. I don't know why. It shouldn't be this quiet. This happened last stream. Give me 1 second. Testing. Still a bit quiet. Last stream that I did, this is like okay. It's not great. But the last stream I did, when we started, the microphone was just super, super quiet for a bit, and then it got better. I'm hoping it get better. Am I too quiet? Test 1, 2, 3. I sound a bit quiet, I think, on my side. Give me 1 more second. I'm going to try and mess around with this. It is live. I think that's good. Oh, that's too loud. That's good. That's where we should be. Apologies if there's a jump scare there. But this is the volume we should be if everything's correct. Let me know if that's better. Hey, Snake, he's alive. I'm so glad you're back. Let's go, champs. I've been waiting forever. Just kidding. Hey, you know what? Firstly, thank you. Secondly, honestly, me too. I definitely miss doing this stuff, not only the video content, the live streams, that's for sure. And so it was always like, oh man, I can't wait till we be able to have the time to sit down and do this again. On top of that, what's really good is over the last couple months, with, you know, the channel and stuff like this, Marvel Champions has been something I've been making content for, which kind of changes the tone around it. It was less likely to be the thing that if I have, you know, a couple extra half an hour on a Thursday night or Tuesday night or whatever, that I'll like pull out Marvel Champions and play it. And I was worried that, you know, that sort of relationship you have with it as a content thing would challenge that. But I'm happy to say that since we moved into this new space, there's definitely been downtime, and I've played at least a dozen, if not more, games of Marvel Champions over the last couple weeks, which is really good. That feels good to be able to just like realize, oh, I still like this game a heck of a lot. It doesn't have to be content. So I played a whole campaign with Drax, which was really fun. I played a bunch more of Zero Cost Adam Warlock. I tested this Venom deck yesterday and played through the first 4 scenarios. I just have Strife in Next Evolution, so it's been good. Have you tried the new Loki? Crash? No, unfortunately in Canada, we still don't have it. It's just the way it is. But in Canada, we're like 4 to 5 weeks out. Every Friday I'm checking. We just don't have it at all in Canada. I don't know if Europe has it. I think we're kind of in the same boat. But it's been like really, really frustrating this last year functionally, where I know Asmodee has a different distributor. They no longer work with Lion Rampant in Canada. I think they just distribute themselves. And then sometimes we get things on time. And then other times we get like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like 6 weeks late. Which is just like such a bummer because not only I do not know what's in that pack because I can't watch other content creators because I want to keep it as a surprise so I can open on myself. So I'm not participating online. You've probably heard other folks talk about this on like Reddit or whatever if you're there. But like it's difficult when the stuff doesn't come out on the same time, the same date, because then you kind of fracture the community. So I don't know what's in there. As soon as it's there, we'll do a live stream for sure. I'm really looking forward to it as much as I don't love Loki. I'll send you one for me. That's very kind. I'm hoping, firstly, thank you. I'm hoping that we'll have one here in the next week or so. Like it can't be that long, but I'm like really nervous that when the next, you know, Civil War box comes out, like we're going to get it. I know if you don't know, it's been delayed to October, which can't be really a surprise. It would have been out by now. But while it's officially been delayed to October, there's a chance that we won't get it till November, which again, try and make content creation online when you don't get the products. That's really, really bad. Hey, Aurora, how's it going? Good to see you back. How you doing? Hopefully you've been well. How's your summer been? Today, we have like maybe 2.5, 3 hours to stream. I'm playing a deck that I don't know if it's my favorite deck, but I haven't played a lot of Venom. I think I can kind of show this on my phone right now. Give me 1 second. But I have this Google Drive that throughout this year is my 2025 tracker. I basically have here every single hero, and then I go through it, and I'm trying to play a full campaign with every single hero. And so far you can see the ones I've done. Some of these have been partially or fully on stream or on channel. Most of them haven't. And so there's a whole bunch of heroes, especially in the middle chunk, that I haven't touched. So I grabbed one of them, and it turns out to be Venom. And so we're going to try and play a campaign on Venom. Venom has never been one of my favorite heroes. I think one big part to that is that I don't know who this person is. Like, I'm familiar with the Venom that shows up in like Sinister Motives, like the Eddie Brock Venom, but the Flash Thompson Venom who operates in space, no idea who this guy is. Where he's wearing all his spikes like he came from a Hot Topic, 0%, no idea what this guy is. And I think, man, I don't want to say this because it's kind of cursed in some ways, and it's going to curse me. I find Venom, the hero, to be pretty boring. Incredibly powerful, but pretty boring. I find his kit to be what I would call just a numbers kit. It reminds me a bit about I think the most recent hero that reminds me a bit is Shuri. And I like Shuri a fair bit. I did just do a campaign with Black Panther. Actually, that was another campaign I did after we moved here. Shuri just like does good numbers. Now she has status effects, and you have to like, her numbers are attached to activation. So reading is good, and you're making some decisions. And luckily the Dora Milaje pieces and her Black Panther ally make it a bit more interesting with T'Challa. But this deck, it's just good numbers. Everything you do is just good numbers. And I think, of course, the big part of that is that you have your big old rifle that can just do 2 value a turn. And this is the multi-gun. Let me get Cerebro. And the multi-gun's really good. And your big power card, which you're running 3 copies of, is Run and Gun. And Run and Gun just says, do more things this turn. Except the things are not like interesting things. They're just like, oh, you can attack for 4 more again. You can do 2 threat every turn. And that's just kind of what this kid looks like. You get your weapons on the table, and then at that point, every turn you're doing X plus 6 value. And then every turn you just do X plus 6 value. And that overwhelms slowly. It's not super flashy. You have some cool events that care about spending the same sort of resources to get a kicker effect. Those are generally Stun and Confuse, which is like, every kid kind of does that to some extent. Project Rebirth is a fun card, but a lot of this is just like good numbers. You do things better on right, and the numbers at some point overwhelm. You're really good at bursting villains. Of course, now we're playing aggression, so we're playing a firepower deck, and I'll go through the deck once I catch my breath. But you're very good at saying like, oh, the villain's at 18 health, we can win this turn. If you have 1 firepower, 1 run and gun, you're generally doing like 15 plus to 20 burst, and things just end. The thing that I didn't want to say is that so far I've played about maybe 12.5 Marvel Champions games with Venom, and I have not lost a game. It just seems to be one of the smoothest, one of the relatively easiest heroes to have access to. You have good resource generation. I just have not dropped a game. And I have dropped games with some of the other most powerful heroes of all time, like Doctor Strange. I think is actually really fun because Doctor Strange does weird, interesting things. Maria Hill, maybe not my favorite, but I don't think I've lost a game with Maria Hill yet. And Venom, I have not lost a game yet. Probably should have saved that till after the stream to see if that's still true. But like, so far, Venom in my testing has been just very, very good, very, very straightforward, very, very, very just numbers good, which doesn't always make the most interesting. But with firepower, I think at least we have some new tools to play with, and we have a bit more burst. It's been a good weekend. Friday was my birthday, and Saturday was my city's pride celebration. Yay, congrats to both. Hopefully you had a good birthday. I reckon you might have been out celebrating. That's sick. It's been a good weekend. Good to hear. I was honestly so surprised when Civil War came out. I was so expecting Fantastic Four, but I'm excited to try Civil War. I think the expectations, because there was a leak online. There was this like Reddit leak that looked really, really legitimate that suggested the next box was Fantastic Four, let alone it suggested it would be a slightly bigger box, like kind of a deluxeified box, where instead of being like the $40 price point, which I think it is what it is in America, it'd be like $50, assuming because it had 4 heroes in it, all 4 of the Fantastic Four. I think people were pretty enamored with that idea. And while I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, it's definitely something I'd want to dive into because it's a pretty complete work and I don't know anything about it. And the characters look interesting. Obviously, they went in a different direction. I've said this before. I don't think the Civil War box is going to be for me because I really like campaign expansions. I almost exclusively play campaign mode when I play Marvel Champions, and I have no interest in the PvP. So it's definitely a thing I'll pick up and enjoy it. Tigra looks really cool. Hulkling looks like kind of busted, like just very, very powerful. But yeah, it's not exactly what I think everyone was hoping for, which is where like why leaks are so bad potentially. Like management of community expectations is really important. Leaks are kind of a problem. Are you playing the campaigns on expert or standard? In my history, classically, I'd always try new hero on standard with the pre-con deck. And then once I figured out how they worked and if I liked how they worked, I would jump up to expert. This year in the Marvel Champions 2025 tracker, I've been exclusively playing on expert. There's been 1 or 2 scenarios where I think like, oh, this villain versus this hero, I jump it down to standard. So for instance, I'll just say Thanos is a villain that I've consistently during an expert campaign of whatever the box is called, the Mad King or something. I have almost always jumped that specific scenario down after losing a couple times on expert. There's a couple scenarios that I'm just like very, very bad at, supposedly. And while like I know I play this game to a somewhat high level, yeah, normally I play on expert. We're playing on expert today, but I almost exclusively play on expert if I'm just chilling. Venom always reminds me of a similar version of SPDR, do numbers. I think SPDR is so much cooler though, because SPDR, you have to manage your resources, right? Like the thing with Venom is you don't have to manage your resources. You want to fire all your resources all the time because you're using SPDR to do resource generation. You have the double flip ability and you can like exhaust yourself. She does have the very similar run and gun turns where you play that thing that wakes everything up, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I played SPDR. SPDR to me is like infinitely more interesting. On top of that, it's because playing with web warriors are a more interesting synergistic package than just about anything Venom does. So like I kind of hear you. SPDR to me is like maybe a numbers deck, but compared to Shuri, I think she's closer to Shuri, but she's more interesting than Shuri. That's at least how I would say it, because it's an engine building numbers deck for sure, but the engine pieces are more fun to play with. Venom doesn't functionally have engine pieces. Venom just has, oh, +1 stat. Like exactly, his guns are like +1 stat this turn. It's like, okay, cool. Interesting. I don't fully get it. All right. Just talking too fast. I've been out of the game for a while. Hopefully everyone's well. Let's just talk about this deck. I built it yesterday. I've done some test games. It's Venom. 1/2/2 stat line. 1 thwart's not great, but we do have a way to remove 2 threat every turn, which is fantastic. We can have an additional restricted keyword, so we can have functionally 4 guns, and we will have 4 weapons in this deck. Actually, no, we will have 3 weapons in this deck. You can have 3 weapons. We have a 4th one, but that one isn't restricted. There are like a very few weapons in the game that are not restricted. I think there might only be 1, and we're playing it, which has some synergies, but some anti-synergies with the deck, but it's a fun card. Now, we can, once per phase, not once per round, take a damage to generate a wild resource. That's just functionally very, very, very good. It means we kind of have like +1 hand size. Wild resources are super flexible. And you'll see a whole bunch of Venom's cards care about spending the right kind of resource. So wild is very good. Big thing on this is once per phase. The last time I played Venom, I played protection. And once per phase is phenomenal because one of my least favorite things is paying 1 or 2 resources during the villain's phase to play a defense event. Because who knows how many cards you're going to have in the hand to some extent when the hero phase starts. And starting the hero phase with 2 cards in hand, it just never feels good. So using this to take a damage to play your 1 cost defense event for free doubles down on this ability. And if you're spending that 1 damage to take no damage, it's usually a good trade when the villain's attacking you for 5 on expert or whatever. So very, very, very good. Alter Ego, not super interesting. I know the first couple times I played Flash Thompson, I played Venom, I totally forgot about this text. But when set up, so after you do your mulligan, modernly that's how it is. I don't know if it was always like that. You can discard cards on the top of your deck. I think you have to. I don't think it's optional until you get a weapon upgrade. We have 3 weapons in our kit, and then we added a 4th weapon, which that actually makes this part pretty bad. You almost always want the 1 weapon from your deck, the multi-gun. And if you whiff on the multi-gun, which is a 1 in 4 chance, sometimes 1 in 3 if you have a weapon in your opening hand, that has a pretty big distinction. And there's like a really big downside to playing with extra weapons in your deck. So I've seen versions of this deck that will play some of the Guardian upgrade weapons you can attach to allies. I was considering it, but getting one of those upgrades in your opening hand is so bad compared to getting the multi-gun that we're playing as few weapons +1 because it's fun. All right, we have a whole bunch of these cards that are all similar. They're all 2 costers that say if you've only played with a certain type of resource, get a kicker. This is 3 threat and a confuse. This is by far the best one, if you ask me. You do like jumping down every once in a while. You have an alter ego ability to recover for 4, and you have an okay alter ego. support, it's actually pretty good. Grasping Tendrils is kind of weird. This one made me confused about the rules. If you pay 2 physicals for this, well, no matter what, you're going to cancel an attack, which is good, but you also get a stun, which is really, really, really good if you can pay for it. From my test game so far, I've actually been struggling to fire this. My deck just somehow naturally doesn't have a lot of physical resources. I don't know if I've just been unlucky. We have some ways to generate wild resources like our own ability text, but this one's been harder to land consistently. Now, I don't think you get the boost cards. The attack initiates, so your other when attack initiates triggers, you can trigger them in the right order. There's an upgrade in the deck that matters. But I don't think the attack actually goes through. You technically defended an attack, but I'm not sure if there's actually was an attack for some other effects. Not 100% sure of the ruling on this. This one is really weird because it's not a stun. Because stun specifically says discard the status card instead. And that replaces the attack. So there was actually no activation. I'm not 100% sure if there's an activation for this one. Hopefully someone knows. Hey, what time does Onder usually start? Nil, how's it going? Who knows? Classically, we were doing streams on Friday afternoons at around 2. But since then, I've now work full time, so I'm in an office. That's not possible. So we're going to lock down when we're going to do regular streams. It might be Sunday mornings, as much as this is a bit later than I wanted to start today. But this is the new studio, so we're figuring it out for the first time. Everything's a bit in flux right now, but I'm excited to know that you're interested to know when we start. I am as well. There's another one of these. We'll find it. We have Locked and Loaded. This is the beginning of some of the cards I really don't care for in the kit. Search your deck for a weapon upgrade and add it to your hand. It's only your deck. This card you can play on your first cycle to go get your multi-gun as soon as possible. It technically is a can't trip, right? Like you play a card to get a card because it costs 0. But this is a totally dead card once you were set up. I'm super surprised about that. I don't think I love this design. There's only one in the deck, which is good. This kind of incentivizes you to play cards that like you get uses out of that empty, that have ammo counters. Things like Sonic Rifle, for instance, or we're playing the Grenade. And that kind of makes a bit more sense if you're playing something like that. I think Sonic Rifle might have come in this pack. I'd be surprised if it didn't. But in this deck, it's kind of useless. Run and gun, really good. We have 3 of these, and this is what I mean when you're in a numbers deck. This is useless in the beginning, but in the mid to late game, this is usually +6, +7 on a turn. It gives you another activation. It wakes up all your weapons. Very, very, very powerful. In the early game, you throw them out because they're not good. But yeah, once you're set up, they do something. Savage Attack. This one is, I'm weirded out why the numbering is so late, because this is functionally the same as the first 2 cards. It's a 2 for 5, which is not bad. That's pretty good numbers. And you get overkill if you spend only energy resources. This is the one that I do the least often, because generally you always want the confuse if you can get it. You always want to block an attack if you can get it, unless you're playing defense, even then you do. This is not bad, but we don't struggle to put out consistent damage. Sometimes getting to 5 is a hard break point, because usually we attack for about 4 and our gun can do 2. So it's not bad, but it's fine. Hey, feel like it's been a while. It's been a while. Lucille, how you doing? It has literally been like a month. So welcome back to the channel. It was cool to see that the channel just like slowly grew in the background, and I need to respond to a lot of nice comments and stuff. But we put out like an Adam Warlock video that I was actually really happy with. And then since then we just walked away, and now we're like 200 more subscribers, which if you're new, or welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel. All right, Project Rebirth. I like this card. It's very flexible. Either heal 3 as an alter ego action or draw a card. Like it. Fun. Get it, put it down. It replaces itself. It's quite nice. And then we start to have our weapons, of course, which we can have 3 of. Multi-gun is just like the numbers gun. It's the numbers ass card. It is so numbers. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. It's not a thwart. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. It's not an attack, so you don't have to worry about retaliate or guard. Or choose a player, deal 1 damage to each minion and engage with that player. I wish it also hit the villain. Maybe then would be too good. Very flexible. There's cards that ready this, but you want to get this down as soon as possible, because that functionally gives you like 3 thwart stat every turn, 4 attack stat. This is just a flexible +2 to any stat a turn that you can divide. There is almost no card in the game that's as good as flexible as this. The entire Venom kit is basically this card, and this is why like adding extra weapons makes your deck diluted, so you don't get this on turn 1. But the difference between having this card and not having this card is absurd. Numbers.deck. Spider Sense. This one's kind of cool. Again, we are a spider character, and this is the text functioning on Peter Parker from the core set. It's kind of nice that this showed up here. It's really cool when you play defense, because then you can play taunt and some of my other favorite cards in the game if you play protection, excuse me. This technically can fire before you put your grasping tendrils, so you can draw a card and then cancel, and you can always draw a card before deciding if you want to defend or not. It's a good card. It's a superpower too. That's the only one in the deck. Now we have 2 copies of Venom's Pistol, which like is so funny, down to earth card, I guess. Gives you +1 to an activation. Unfortunately, it has a hero interrupt, so you can't use this to recover +1, which wouldn't make any sense, but you like it. But this is really flexible because it means you can defend, you can attack, you can thwart. And you have 2 of them, and you can play all 3 of your guns, and then they're good. That's it. And when you ready yourself and you ready all your weapons when you play run and gun, obviously that works really well together because this gun needs you to be ready. And you have 2 of them, and they're really cheap. Doing good. We'll have to dip in a bit because I'm currently playing a very normal Netrunner tournament and have the buy. I am playing Harsa, Chandra, and Nasir. Are you doing the Trasher Busto tournament? That sounds really fun. Enjoy. All right. The rest of the deck, the 25 cards that we built. Allies. We actually have a fair few allies because we have an ally synergy package. To some extent, because we're playing only Guardians. We are a Guardian ourselves. I didn't say the traits. We're also Soldier on the alter ego side, which is nice. But we're playing a whole bunch of Guardians because a lot of these, the neutral ones, you can mostly only play these if you're a Guardian. So any excuse. And then we have 3 other Guardians. I'm not going to go into them too much. Groot blocks really well. Rocket Raccoon thwarts for 2, which is sometimes an issue for us, and can attack minions with overkill, which is nice. Can you read the text on this, or is it too bright? It might be slightly too bright. Chat, let me know if you can read that text. Gamora is just good. I really wish she had 2 thwart, but that wouldn't make too much sense, but she's a good card. And then we have 3 aggression Guardians that are all really cheap. We have Angela, who can grab minions. We have Bug, who can heal. I love Bug. I haven't played Bug in a long time. But Bug just heals whenever you attack, so Bug is an infinite +1 thwart every turn and +1 attack. And then Throg is probably not worth in the deck. I think I originally had some ideas to get, like, grab minions and play that sort of, like, man on the wall package that is really, really common in modern aggression because of Winter Soldier. But Throg is not bad. A 2 cost, 2 attack with toughness, if you get it, is really, really good. But also a Guardian trait. We're also playing Nick Fury because why not? If we're playing on Expert, it's hard for me not to play Nick Fury. Gets you out of a jam all the time, but Nick Fury is one of the best cards in the game. If you're one of those that hates playing Nick Fury in every deck, I'm like 95% decks play Nick Fury. Professor X is probably also in that camp. It's kind of like playing Rashida Yahim in Netrunner. It just like makes you play better Netrunner. It's a sort of card where you look at your hand and say, this is a bad hand, get a new hand. And so that happens a fair bit. All right, this is what we're doing. We're firepower. Of course we are, right? One of the most interesting aggression cards that came out recently, we can tap up to 3 weapons and we get +3 damage. We deal, 3 damage in different instances with ranged. We have weapons. Some of our weapons, in fact, all our weapons do exhaust. So keep in mind that there's a very strong, what's it called? Opportunity cost for using these, because functionally if we tap our multi-gun we lose 2 damage, so it's not actually as good as it sounds. But that being said, this is still a very, very good card. We're adding Pulse Grenade as our 4th weapon. And it sucks to get this off the rip on your setup ability on Flash, but this is a non-restricted weapon and you can exhaust it and it has no impact on the game. So when this comes down and you can fire it on the same turn that you exhausted, you can do massive burst damage. I played about 4 games with Venom yesterday and Pulse Grenade never did fewer than 5 damage. I was really surprised. I thought this flipped 1 card and I was like, that's terrible, but it flips 2 cards and then you add the boost icons, not the star icons, to deal damage. You have to choose the enemy before you see the icons, which is a bit of a bummer. But because we're playing on Expert, you're actually more likely to find higher icons to some extent. The Expert set does add a couple high boost icons, but this has always been +4, +5 damage for 2 that you can offshore for a different turn, which is not the worst card, but clearly this is like not a great Marvel Champions card. It's not a super consistent card, but it's a lot of fun. And in this deck, having a 4th weapon that you can firepower for more options is quite nice. Again, a lot of times we'll get the villain down to like 15 health. We'll get them to stage 3 and then they last 1 turn because firepower is just that strong in burst. We have Hall of Heroes. It's okay. It's cute. It's probably not necessary. We go down to alter ego enough for this to be a thing we can fire because we do get confused statuses. And we actually use big hands well because doing a double run and gun turn is just a lot of fun. This gets counters when we defeat minions. Again, this deck originally was a very minion heavy getting deck, and I don't think we needed to do that, but Hall of Heroes is a bit of a leftover. Oh, I don't know who to shout out for this, but I saw a deck online that someone played Face the Past. One of the weirdest things about Venom is Venom doesn't have a Nemesis minion. Venom has Nemesis minions, has 4 of these enraged symbiotes, which are the exact same ones that are in Venom if you played Sinister Motive. They have 1 scheme, 2 attack, 2 health, but they have guard and patrol. And whenever your Nemesis minion is meant to come out, all 4 of these spawn on you, which isn't great. Now the multi-gun, if you can ready it, can do 1 like AoE damage, and then if you're ready, can do 1 AoE damage. So you can clear all of them very quickly and very efficiently, which is good. But Face the Past in theory grabs all of those and then draws 3 cards, which is a bit of a mixed bag. There's a bunch of board states where that's not tenable, but if you are set up with a run and gun and have your multi-gun, it's honestly nearly free, which is really good. Now, the big reason we're doing this, and it's very, very cute, is that man on the wall, and this is more like kind of jokes than it is like, I would say consistent, is we are a soldier when alter ego. So when we're in alter ego, we can play man on the wall, but that means uniquely we have the ability to play face the past to draw 3 cards, ready ourselves, and then man on the wall a card for -4 because we have 4 minions engaged with us at a minimum, which there are no 4-cost cards in this deck, but it's nice to get a free run and gun on that turn because you're definitely going to need it. It's a goofy combination. I would play man on the wall even if I didn't play face the past. I'll be honest, in my 4 games so far, so I haven't played Face the Past once because I just haven't needed it, but I actually really like Face the Past. I think it's a good card. And if you're going to shuffle the deck, these are actually not bad things to shuffle into the counter deck. This on average is not as bad as most encounter cards. So just getting the deck to be more symbiote based is like totally fine if you ask me. Hey, Jonathan, I love your production quality. It makes watching your playthrough so enjoyable. Thank you so much. A lot of effort and money goes into this. I have another channel where I make Netrunner and we're supported on Patreon, so that can happen a lot. My background isn't doing video like this, but I really appreciate the kind words. We have a new lighting setup, a new studio here, so we're trying to figure out all the kinks, but I appreciate it. We want to make things as accessible as possible. Yo, Joel, how's it going? How's your weekend? Let's talk about not dying. We have endurance, +3 health, makes sense. We want to take damage to get wild resources. +3 health goes pretty far. And I want to play Booster Boots because I like this card. It says when we take damage from an attack, and I think overkill counts. If we take overkill damage, I'm pretty sure it counts. We can rip the top card of our deck to prevent one of that damage. I think health mitigation is like super important in our deck. And while we have good recovery and good healing alter ego stuff, this card is just cute because you can only play it as a guardian. So there's not that many heroes that can play it, but I don't mind it. It's like probably could be cut, but I like it a heck of a lot. All right. And now we are a resource base and some tricks. We have Helicarrier and Quincarrier. Now, the cool thing about Helicarrier is that it reduces the cost of a card you play by 1. And so when it comes to things like Grasping Tendrils, which actually that's a really bad example. Let's look at Behind Enemy Lines. Behind Enemy Lines says that as long as you paid only using mental resources, you get the kicker. If you reduce the cost with Helicarrier and then only pay 1 mental or 1 wild with Venom, that counts. You don't need to pay 2 mental, from my understanding. You just have to only have paid mental. So if we reduce the cost and then pay a mental, it still counts. So Helicarrier works really well with Venom, who inherently the only resource generator in Venom kits is on Venom. Now, you might be thinking Quincarrier, that's illegal, and Quincarrier is really good because it generates a wild, and we love wild because of our kit. We can't actually play this, and I know this upsets some people, but technically the rules support this interaction, that if you play build support doesn't play Quincarrier, it puts it into play. And the problem with Quincarrier is you can't play it unless you're an Avenger, which we're not. But if you complete build support, you can put it into play. So there are, unfortunately, these weird fourth wall, like anti-narrative breaking ways to get Quincarrier into play. And this, unfortunately, is a deck that really likes having the wild resource generator so that we can play all our tendrils, because this is a resource, not an action. And that's really good. So we will cheat out Quincarrier with build support. I showed the different art. This is the modern art of build support. We have Nowhere, which I haven't played enough of this. We actually have a lot of allies in the deck. They're almost all guardians, and this draws cards. This is not bad if it comes down. We have 2 side schemes. Keep Up the Pressure, which is just really good whenever you play Firepower because it grabs it and it does +1 damage to each instant. So it becomes a 9 damage card. It becomes a 12 damage card. And then we have Lock and Load, which is one of the most consistent ways to go get our multi-gun or any weapon when we need it. And it's just very good. 2 threat means 1 multi-gun shot, 1 thwart with a pistol does it. It's very good. And then we're playing 3 wilds, or 3 resources, excuse me. They're not wilds. They're exactly, in fact, not wilds. And that's the deck. So far, it's been fine. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself because I'll look like a fool when I mess it up, but we have never lost a game so far with Venom. Again, now the stakes are pretty high, but yeah, Venom has just been very, very powerful, very, very straightforward. Numbers are good. You build a board state, and every turn you just do the same stuff. It's just good numbers all the time. Not a lot of like moving parts, not a lot of like finesse to it. It's just like once you get your pistols down and then you get your multi-gun down and you draw a Lock and Load, or sorry, yeah, it's called Lock and Load, right? Or Run and Gun. One of the two. I think it's Run and Gun. I think Lock and Load is the one that searches your deck. I don't know. Does anyone like Venom? I know there's a lot of Venom fans. I think it's very powerful. And I've seen online a lot of people really enjoying Venom. I think that was the weird cycle, right? Like, I think so far there's been 2 strange cycles in Marvel Champions. One has been the one with, like, if I'm not mistaken, Valkyrie, Venom, War Machine, Vision. It just doesn't feel like it has a cohesive theme. And some of those are some of my favorite heroes. Very, very interesting heroes for sure. And then we have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which also is like very varied, very strange. They're generally on the tail end of narrative expansions to some extent. I just came in on you saying you won't repeat yourself. Can you repeat yourself? Omnicrom, I don't know in what context I would want to repeat myself. How you doing? Venom was in Galaxy's Most Wanted cycle. I don't think that's true. Wait, maybe? Because in the Galaxy's Most Wanted cycle, it was Drax, Gamora, Nebula, and no, it wasn't, because there was Drax, Gamora, Nebula, and Peter Quill. I think he came in the next cycle. Like, you'd assume he's a Guardian, but I think he was the only Guardian to come in the following cycle. This is why I mean it's weird, is like kind of the leftover. Because if I'm not mistaken, Guardians was Groot and the Rocket in the box, and then it was Star-Lord, Gamora, Nebula came later, right? Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Venom. Yeah, you're right. Nebula was the one that came after. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right about that for sure. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I know nothing of his Venom as a Guardians character. Like, I have a Guardian comic, one of the important ones, and like I don't think Venom shows up in that. I just don't know who he is in this context. Nebula came out immediately after Mad Titan Shadow. Yeah, okay, that tracks. All right, let's give this a shuffle. Okay, so what are we playing? I'm going back. I did do this yesterday. I think I'm slightly too high. Yeah, it's better. We are playing through Next Evolution. Why? Because of the box I haven't played in a while, and it's an okay one. It's fine. It's good. And we're gonna be playing today against this is Morlock Siege, which is interesting. It's like this kind of two-part scenario if you haven't played it. The first part, we're going to be shuffling up these villains, and we're going to have to defeat 3 of them. And then the second part, the fourth villain, which randomly will be the one that's behind the 3 that we defeated, will be having a basically sort of like hostage standoff, and the stakes kind of raise. So for now, we're trying to protect the Morlocks, and so we just need to do the setup here. It's a relatively straightforward opening scenario, and you get a bit of variety because we're going to be seeing 3 of these. I think there's 7 of them, and we don't know which ones they are. We're playing on expert, so hold on. We're playing base standard. I do want to really shout out Villain Theory's recommended mod sets. I've been messing with them, and they're really good. As someone who plays mostly campaign mode, I mostly play with the restricted mod sets, or the prescribed mod sets, excuse me. But having an excuse to go through and see some extra mod sets that I have not experimented with, I've really enjoyed my time so far messing with Villain Theory set. If I remember, I'll link it in the description, but if you search Villain Series like mod set recommendations, it's a really good document that gives you some suggestions of mod sets to replace the recommended mod sets, and what they will do to difficulty, and then what they'll do to theme and or mechanics, which is good. And mind you, I just played I also mentioned I'm playing a lot more Marvel Champions. I played an entire campaign as Justice Valkyrie, and I did go out of the way to kind of modify the mod sets to ensure that we had enough minions, which obviously is a bit cheating, but playing solo Valkyrie, like, you kind of need that to some extent to have fun, and had a great time. Some recommended mod sets. All right, so we're playing military grade Mutant Slayers, so some mid-sized minions who are these minions in minion form, and military grade is mostly attachments. So we have to put the routed environment into play. We'll come to that in a second. It's not super important. We set aside Hide, Treacheries, and 4 Morlock allies. 2 of them will be coming back. We'll shuffle the villains together without looking at them. We're playing on the B side because we're playing on expert, and there is, I don't know, y'all. There is a lot of range and difficulty. Some of these I think are super trivial. Some of these are incredibly difficult. I think my least favorite are Harpoon and maybe the other tough guy, because he hits like a truck. But then the ones that say like confuse somebody or stun someone or spend 2 resources, I don't mind those. So eyes closed. We'll continue shuffling. Stop. Shit, this is one of the ones I don't like. This is Blockbuster on the top. So hold on. Villain name. Blockbuster. We have 14 health, which probably is the highest. So this is Blockbuster. We can't look at the stack because whatever is behind it is a surprise. Force interrupt. When Blockbuster attacks you or an ally, they all have the same like beginning. So schemes for 1 is not bad. Attacks for 3 is pretty bad. And either give him a tough status card. Actually, I don't mind that. We're okay. We don't have any piercing, but we can like ping it off. Or he gets +2 attack and overkill. Being attacked for 5 consistently is a lot. I think Blockbuster is one of the hardest ones to toe-to-toe alongside Harpoon. Harpoon's really, really, really bad. Okay. Flash Thompson Venom was pretty much immediately shipped off into space and did cosmic Marvel stuff, joined the Guardians and became a space knight. Yeah, like I don't know anything about those storylines. I think I know more about like the kind of the Guardians that I think are more like pop culture popular. But yeah, I just know nothing about Flash. Okay, that's cool. That's it. All right, we flip this over. It's an interesting side scheme. It only stays on for 3 turns, so all we have to do is survive for 3 turns. On the 3rd turn, this, we can ignore it, because as soon as it gets its step 1 threat, it replaces itself, and so we don't actually have to worry about it on the last turn. If the villain is an alter ego and it's going to scheme, and this is on 4 threat, we don't mind. What this says, it only has a small limit of 6. This can advance. Like, if we just lose this, it advances, so we don't lose the game, but we lose out on a benefit if this advances. Force response says after resolving step 1, you place a knock counter here as they are sieging the Morlock lair. And if there's 3 knock counters here, we immediately advance to stage 2A. If we advance by knocks, it's good for us. If we just advance because this hits 6, it's bad for us. But we can do kind of whatever we want here. Generally, we're going to let this knock out. Just to go over routed, it's slightly different on expert. This is the expert routed. So it says cards under here are not in play, and the villain will gain retaliate 1 for each card underneath here. So currently it's retaliate 0, but we'll go up to retaliate 2. After the villain is defeated, put it underneath here. Discard each minion that matches that villain name. That rarely happens, but that's good to know. And then the villain immediately activates against you in player order. So whatever villain's under Blockbuster, after we defeat Blockbuster, we tuck Blockbuster under routed, and the next villain will activate against us, attack or thwart based off of what side we're on. That is mostly it. We win, as you'll find out on the back of the knock side, when we route 3 villains. So we'll have to deal with up to retaliate 2, but that is mostly it. So we need to survive for a bit, and then eventually we'll be protecting some Morlocks. I feel like I need to sneeze real bad, but I think we can shuffle. Oh, then counter deck. I've already shuffled it. I'll just shuffle it a bit off on screen. He came back to Earth after a bit and became a standard spider dude. I believe he's currently anti-venom. Oh, that would make sense. Does anti-venom still use guns and stuff? I don't know. Venom is the edgy superhero, which, you know, some people are really into it. But like, you know, the sort of Sonic Dark Hedgehog who's like has an Uzi for some reason. Like, Venom gives me those vibes, which I find to be kind of funny. When it's like super edgy guy with pistols. It's like, okay, man, you're taking yourself too seriously here. Let's go. Okay, we'll mulligan and we're off. I think that's all that we have to do for setup. So we have to remember setup on our alter ego. That will grab us a weapon, but that's after we do our mulligan and everything. I think that has changed at some point in the history of the game. We have Gamora. Oops. I don't think we're going to keep Gamora. 3 cost is not the most important thing. We really want to set up and find our weapons. I don't think we need an ally on turn 1. Run gun is totally useless on turn 1. We never keep that. There's 3 in the deck. Firepower, also totally useless on turn 1. Again, we are a bit of a setup. Behind enemy lines, this is something that you would consider keeping because it confuses nice, but Blockbuster with 1 thwart is not a huge stress, and there's only 1 threat on the table right now. So keeping this, looks like we're 4 for 4 so far on cards we're not keeping. Groot, not bad. Issue with Blockbuster is that Blockbuster attacks for 3. Groot is pretty good, but if you got one of the here villains that attacks for a bit less than that, you'd be in a better spot. I actually like Groot a lot, but I don't think we're going to keep Groot here. So Quinn Carrier we can't play. We are literally doing a full mulligan. I can't remember the last time we've done that, but we're going to scoop 6, draw 6. Savage attack, don't care for it. 5 damage on turn 1s, whatever. Keep up the pressure, not a bad card. For 0, we can play it no issue. And when you're playing on expert, you sometimes just want a side scheme on the table. So when you draw master plan, you don't have to do anything really horrible for you, but it's a 0 cost card. It can't be that bad. Run and gun is useless again. Man on the wall is perfect because we can only play man and wall and alter ego. It's okay in this scenario. It's not the best, but it's okay, but that's good to have. Another behind enemy lines, which whatever. And then strength. At least we got that. So now we have to do our alter ego ability, and we're going to discard from the top of the deck until we get a weapon. There's 4 weapons in our deck. Worst case, we get the grenade. Best case, we get the multi-gun. Nick, energy, spider sense, boots, genius. A lot of our resources. We got a pistol. We lost some really good cards. If this was our opening hand instead, oh my god, would that have been much better. That is such a difference. He lost his legs in Afghanistan, which is why he became Venom in the first place. Oh, wow. Yeah, he does have the sort of like Star Fox-esque legs. But that's so he can fast fall faster, right? So he's not juggled? That's what I assumed. Okay. So, weird hand. Not used to playing in front of a microphone. Let me get ready for this. Good luck, have fun, everyone. Okay, so man on the wall we want to play on this side. We can always generate a wild by flipping up, which of course we'll flip up. Our activation's not super important here. We'll probably just do 2 attack. I don't think we really care about the management of the threat here with the low threat. That's the other value of this first thesis. We want 2 mentals for behind enemy lines for the confuse. We literally cannot do it. We just didn't have any mentals in our hand. So the double Doesn't do much. Savage doesn't care about the kicker on it. Okay, so I think there's no shot we're playing. What card is there no shot we're playing here? I think there's no shot we're playing 3 just to ready ourselves again. So we'll play 3 for Man on the Wall. Again, we are a soldier on this side, so we can get this down. Sometimes it's a bit awkward, so we'll have a resource generator once we find minions. And then from this point, I think we'll flip up. So in hero mode, we can always take a wild, take a damage to generate a wild. I'm worried I'm going to forget that I've done this once per turn, but we'll get through it together. Sometimes I have a second little piece there to remember. So we can do 5 damage. We can play the pistol. We can keep the pressure and save a resource and not take a damage. I think that's kind of fine. I think nothing else really here is super important. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pitch behind enemy lines to play Venom's pistol. So we have our first weapon here. This says whenever we do, it's an interrupt. Whenever we do a basic action, we can exhaust this to get +1. So we can attack for 3 as a start. We'll just play keep the pressure. I'll just put it here, I guess. It has only 2 threat on it. We're waiting for a multi-gun. Once we clear this, we grab an attack event, and all attack events do +1 damage. And then we'll just do a savage attack, targeting our friend here, Blockbuster. And I'll just do 5 damage. Villain's down to 9. We'll attack with Venom for 2, +1 for Venom pistol, down to 3. Sorry, taking 3 down to 6. And that's a lot of damage, and we'll pass. First, another pistol. Second, locked and loaded, so we can grab our multi-gun with that. Doesn't always have a lot of use. Firepower can easily flatten Blockbuster this turn. Pulse grenade, so there's only one more weapon in our deck. And face the past, which probably we don't want to do here. We have 5 hand size. Cool. All right, this goes to 2. Knock, knock. We're on 1 counter. Once this hits 3, it's good for us. And Blockbuster will now attack for 3 in a card. All right, so either we give Blockbuster a tough status card, which is a bit annoying because we don't have any way to ping it cleanly, or he attacks for +2 and attacks for 5. I don't want to be attacked for 5. Face the Past is such an incredibly cool card. I think the game's been really good at making these neutral cards that have immense upsides but come with downsides. So like Face the Past, I think in Venom it's maybe the weirdest one. With Men on the Wall, it's really fun for sure. But like same with Grant, what's his name? Grant Ward. Like I love these cards that have upsides and downsides because the upsides are absurd. They're so good. But yeah, no, I like this a fair bit. If we had our multi-gun and we had, we might be able to, hold on, we have to decide this attack, but there's a chance because, again, with Man on the Wall, we could play a run and gun for free or a multi-gun for free. If we knew that every single copy of run and gun was still in the deck, I would probably take the punt. The problem is we've discarded 2 run and guns so far, so the chance of getting a run and gun to reload our multi-gun is super low. It's 1 in whatever our deck is, where we draw 3 cards, or technically -1 because we're going to be taking out our multi-gun first. But like this hand can nearly fix the problems Face the Past is going to produce. I appreciate that we both have neutrals that are both powerful, not auto-include. Yeah, I like that the most, where it's like interesting build arounds, but not like, you know, Nick Fury. I think we're just going to give him a tough. I don't think we want to take 2 damage. We need to protect our health to some extent. So we're not going to block. We could block for 3, but I think our activation is more important here. Is it actually? Is our activation more important here? Yeah, we have a second pistol. So 3 damage. It's an advance, so we just take 3. Down to 9. Encounter card. That's fine. Blockbuster schemes for 1 in a card. His text is only when he activates. This is upside down. The deck is upside down. So this is 3. So we go up to 5. So we actually have threat to do. Is this deck upside down? Are some cards upside down? Yeah, some cards are upside down. Oh, that's not good. I think the standard set was upside down. Yeah, I probably should have shuffled the standard set in backwards. Okay, bummer. And expert and our obligation. Okay, we're good now. Apologies about that. Okay, so Blockbuster, tough. We're on 9 health. If we face the past and draw a run and gun, we're good. Otherwise, we have all these minions with us, which is not a great spot to be. I think we probably won't do it until we have the guarantee, because I think we're still in a good spot here. We have threat work to do, so it's likely we'll play our second pistol and then knock knock for we'll deal with the main scheme. Thinking also of Arkham's recent trait-based specialty cards, which are cool. They're cool. I wish some of them weren't XP heavy, because a lot of them are like heavy build arounds. Like as cool as the, you know, the tank Geffer is, it's like your deck is about it. I don't know. I think my frustration with them is that Arkham DB doesn't have a good way to show you which ones you have access to. It just shows you all of them all the time. All right, I'm going to do locked and loaded. Let's go get our gun. So this is locked and loaded, which is the same name as a side scheme. They don't try and do that often. Search your deck for a weapon. Let's see if we would have drawn into... No, we wouldn't have drawn into it, but we're going to shuffle. So the weapon we want is our multi-gun next to run and gun. So there's one run and gun in this deck. If we draw it, we're in a really good spot. If we don't draw it, we get attacked by a lot of small minions if we grab our nemesis. That's all this does? Yeah. This is the sort of thing where I wish it was an upgrade or a support, that you could do it multiple times or it had additional text. Okay. So it's us. We can play two things and not play Venom's Pistol. Sorry, we can play Venom's Pistol, not play Face the Past. Face the Past would be pretty good here, but I think we just want to set up because, again, we're in numbers.deck. So I'll do 1, 2, 3 for a multi-gun. This is our most important piece of our kit. Once per turn, we can exhaust it. There's no reason not to, besides firepower, to either do 2 damage, only hurt minions for AoE, or remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then we'll take a damage with Venom's ability. Sorry, hero. So we'll go down 1, and then we'll play our second multi-gun. I'm going to stack these because you might as well, because we generally always will use them at the same time. There's almost no reason not to, unless you are setting up a firepower. So now when we thwart for 3, we can attack for 4, all that sort of good stuff. I think we are going to... The thing with blockbusters, you really want to keep the toughness off, because if you can't give blockbuster toughness, you can't pick that ability, and so you attack for 5. So I think it makes sense that we multi-gun just to shoot the toughness off. And then we will thwart for 1, 2, 3, just to keep this into check. We've seen both advances, so we're in a pretty okay spot. So 5 goes down to 2. Math is hard, and we'll pass. Draw 5. Let's see if we would draw on a run and gun. 1, 2. No. Oh, with lock and load. Yeah, okay. Nowhere, Rocket, and Angela. All right, so we actually might... let's see if we got our nemesis. This goes to 3. This goes to 2. Next turn, we don't have to worry about this because as soon as it hits the 3rd counter, it advances, so Blockbuster's activation won't matter. Blockbuster now is attacking for either 3 or a toughness. We'll go for 3. We don't have our defense card in hand? No. So are we going to defend? This might be a reasonable turn to defend because our hand has a lot of damage, and so if there's a minion that comes up, we shouldn't be in a bad spot. So let's go ahead and just defend for 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage, Arclight, we take nothing. Our 1 encounter card is Vertigo. Cool. So we get a minion. Oh, wrong Vertigo. Vertigo minion. So it comes in with 4 health, has guard. And when you attack you or an ally you control, either stun a character you control or gets +2 attack. This at some point stops to matter because you start to get the Morlocks, which you can just stun them constantly. But she has 4 health and we are currently exhausted, but Man on the Wall now has text. So we technically have 2 resource generators here. Okay, Rocket Raccoon deals with her. Can we play Nowhere into Rocket? I think we can. So Nowhere we play for free, we play Rocket for 3. Rocket can deal with Vertigo. This can go past. We even can jump down this turn, which I think would be fine. We did lose our alter ego upgrade on our setup, I think. Or is it still in the deck? If it's still in the deck, I really want to jump down if we have our rebirth tank or the Bacta tank. I think that's what we'll do. So Man on the Wall to reduce the cost by 1. We'll take a damage off of Venom. That generates 2 resources. We'll play, I guess we'll play Nowhere. Otherwise we can play Bug. Bug actually is probably better than Nowhere because Bug can take the toughness off every turn. And that's a good use of Bug. This is Bug. Little guy. Let me pull this back. Maybe I need to zoom the camera out. Yeah, maybe we do. I'll just move the toughness to the side. So Bug, little guy. But every time we attack, Bug heals. So you have to worry about the sequencing a bit. We'll just use Bug to attack for 1. Roll the die. Take the toughness off. Okay, that'll be good. Then we can do 1, 2, 3 for Rocket. Rocket Raccoon. Coming in with 3 health. Either thwarts for 2, which is actually really good. I think that's the highest thwarting Guardian besides Peter Quill. When Rocket attacks, gets +3 attack and gains overkill. So Rocket's going to attack for 4, defeating Vertigo. We might as well use our multi-gun. So we could do 2 threat from Knock Knock, but that doesn't matter. So we'll just do 2 damage to Blockbuster down to 4, and we'll flip down to Alter Ego and we'll pass. All right, we're set up. And this is what you want to do. Get all your weapons down functionally before you hit your run and guns. And we have one more run and gun coming up and an alter ego card. We should be in a good spot. There you go, run and gun. They're perfect. Project Rebirth, Hall of Heroes is good setup. Savage Attack. I think we have no more resources. Endurance is good. And a Grasping Tendrils, which in alter ego does nothing. Should be good here. So now Knock Knock is going to clear. So Knock Knock says, this goes up to 4. And then this hits the third knock. And it says, if there are at least 3 knock counters, you're advanced to stage, the next stage. So this clears, you remove all threat on it, and we go to Mutant Massacre. All right, when revealed, each player puts 1 Morlock ally into play, 2 instead if you're playing solo. So we have 2 Morlock allies. Really quickly, they are always going to be attacked. Is this the Morlock text? They have 5 health. They're going to get toughness in a second. Victory -1, I don't actually think matters in any meaningful way besides they go to the victory display. Does not count for our ally limit, which is good. But when an enemy attacks, it attacks a Morlock you control instead. That doesn't mean we have to exhaust to defend. The attack will always go into them, which we don't want them to die. I think we do lose the game if they all are defeated, but that means that there's less pressure on us, which is actually kind of nice in some ways. Now, this continues to say, because we defeated it by the knock counters, we're going to put toughness on them. So it says, if the previous stage was advanced by knock counters, give each Morlock a tough. So that functionally bought us 2 entire attacks, because each one gets attacked once, the toughness comes off. We also have to shuffle this treachery into the deck called Hide, and that will matter. It's a good treachery. It's rare that this happens, but it's a treachery which, if we draw it, something good happens for us. And we have a way to shuffle it back into the deck. And we flip this over, and this is the final scheme. If this one advances, we do lose. It only has 8 threshold, comes in with 0. And it says we can exhaust a Morlock ally, and mind you, you can still attack and thwart with them if you want to. They'll take 1 consequential. But you can exhaust a Morlock ally to shuffle the Hide treachery from the discard pile back into the deck. Now, if the 3 villains routed, we win the game. Again, every villain underneath there, not only do the counter cards get a bit worse, but we'll get more retaliate. And if this stage is completed or all Morlocks are defeated, we lose the game, which is cool to have alternate lose conditions. I like that a lot. All right, let's clean that up. And now Blockbuster will activate, but we're in alter ego, so it's going to scheme for 1 in a card. Oop, under fire, an expert card, so this goes up to 4 of 8. With 2 advances out, we're not in the scariest spot, but in theory we could lose here. Bound by Business. When revealed, discard cards until a Marauder minion shares a title with a card and plays this card to put that minion to play engage with you. So no when revealed. So we're looking for a Marauder. Okay, we lost our obligation. We have Chimera, which is a Marauder. So Shadow of the Past is still in there. This is not bad. This turns on our Man on the Wall. This is Chimera. Man on the Wall is a hero action, we just have to keep in mind, but Chimera, not you. Comes in with 5 health and Patrol, which I'm not 100% sure the text on Patrol at any given point in time. I'm pretty sure that means we can't thwart the main scheme or any scheme. What does Patrol say? Patrol and Crisis, like I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of this game and I still have to look it up every time. She attacks for 1 or schemes for 1 unless we spend a mental, or she gets +2 attack. Okay, it is us. Savage Attack deals with Chimera, which is fine. We don't need to hold on to Grasping Tendrils. Any turn that you can play Run and Gun, you should. So Run and Gun will be played with Man on the Wall, Flash, and 1 other card. So probably, I don't think I care about Hall of Heroes too much. There's not that many minions here. Endurance we want to play, it's almost always worth it. So if we play Endurance, that's good. We get +3 health, and we can play Project Rebirth, and we can just recover 3. Honestly, that might be fine. We don't need to draw a card because we play this, 1, 2, 3, play that. And that should be good. And we just have so much numbers. We should be in a good spot. So I'm going to start by pitching Grasping Tendrils to play Project Rebirth. Really powerful alter ego card. So exhaust this in alter ego to either draw a card or heal 3. We don't really need a card draw, so we'll heal 3 up to 10. Then we'll pitch Savage Attack for Endurance. It's good to get this down on the first cycle so you're not drawing it. This just gives us +3 hit points. So we're up to 13. That's good because our health obviously makes us not die, but is the resource we spend for resources. We're not going to recover for 4. We'll flip up. And so now we're going to be able to play Run and Gun. The awkward thing I didn't realize in hindsight is that we need to play Run and Gun in the right order. So instead of pitching Savage Attack to play Endurance, I'm going to use Man on the Wall when we're in hero mode to do that. Because there's a chance that we defeat Chimera before we do the Run and Gun, and I don't want to mess that up real bad. So let's just do that. I think we can defeat Blockbuster, and then the next villain will attack us. That's okay. So, but this might be a nice time to do a bit of damage into Chimera and then do all the damage with Rocket. I think we can put Blockbuster on 1. We have some threat work to do with Multi-Gun will do, so I think we will do that. We will attack for 1, 2, 3, 4 into Chimera, dropping to 1. And then Rocket Raccoon will attack here using the interrupt. So attacking for 4. So 1 hits Chimera, and then the overkill, 3 hits Blockbuster. So the villain is down to 1 health. Chimera is defeated. All right, before we run and gun, we're going to use multi-gun. We'll just take 2 threat off of this. Very big thing about Retaliate 2 in this scenario is that firepower is ranged, and this multi-gun is ranged functionally too. We've attacked, so bug heals. And then we'll do 1 damage we'll take from ourselves, from our hero ability. So we're down to 12, and then we'll play run and gun. So we ready all our weapons and ourselves. Okay. So I think we're just going to use bug to attack for 1 here. And that will defeat Blockbuster. So the text on Routed says that when you defeat a villain, we tuck it underneath here. I'm going to put a die there so we know how many characters have been routed. The next villain is Grey Crow. Oh, wait, I also think this one's really quite bad. And then this villain is going to be revealed, and this villain will activate against us. So this is Grey Crow coming in with 12 health. Villain name Grey Crow. Villain set 12. Schemes for 2, attacks for 2. Now, Grey Crow will activate. Has Retaliate 1. When Grey Crow attacks you or an ally you control, choose to either discard each card you control with the highest cost, or Grey Crow gets plus attack where X is the printed cost of the highest card you control. So the highest cost card we control is Rocket or Multi-Gun. So we're going to let that happen. And Grey Crow is now attacking for 5 with a boost. Now, the Morlocks say that they're going to be the target of the attack. So left Morlock will block this with the piercing. So unless this boost has piercing, I think we're in an okay spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assault. Cool. Lose the toughness. And it's still ready because it didn't have to exhaust for that. This looks a bit ugly. Let's just actually route Blockbuster. Okay. Routed. All right, and that's us. Grey Crow is only 12 health. If we had a firepower, we could blow him up. So we could actually get a firepower. If we multi-gun for keep up the pressure, we could go grab a firepower. Then we could play them firepower. It will do 4, 8 damage. We attack for 9, 10. No, we're short. That's okay. We'll just do what we'll do. So we'll attack for 1, 2, 3, 4 with our pistols. So villain is down to 8. We take 1 retaliate damage. We'll just multi-gun for safety off of this, and then we'll just pass. There's a chance that we don't want to multi-gun for threat, that we want to multi-gun for damage, because this doesn't take retaliate, because multi-gun is not an attack. Not that it has ranged, which you'd assume a gun would, and this deck would be better if it had ranged to some extent. Actually, maybe not. That's not true. But yeah, we're just going to let that happen, and we'll pass. We are going to deck out, I'm pretty sure. So we'll draw 2 encounter cards. I think we're in a good spot for that. I think one of the cards we're drawing is a Grasping Tendrils. I don't think we've seen both. Oh, there you go. Grasping Tendrils. Throg. Firepower. Build support, which we can use to get a Quinn Carrier, and then we decked out. So we'll get an encounter card and we'll shuffle. We need 1 more card here. How's everyone doing? I think we're at the point where like we're maybe 2 turns away from finishing because we're fully set up and every firepower is a lot of damage. The best card we just want to draw the most is run and gun. In fact, most of the other cards in our kit don't do anything. Our status effect cards probably won't matter. Grasping Tendrils is probably even not worth playing here. The stun is not bad, I guess. Maybe that's true. But like we're still tough here. I think there's a couple cards in the encounter set that will just say the villain activates again. As much as we've seen 1 assault, there's a bunch that are like unique to Morlock Siege. All right, last card. Savage Attack. That's fine. That's damage. All right, so this goes to 1. And Grey Crow will now attack us. And it's probably going to end up attacking for 5. Oh, there's way too many things. Let's start with Grey Crow. All right, so before we give a boost card, we can decide whether we want to do Grasping Tendrils. So Grasping Tendril says we can cancel an attack for 2, but if we play only physical, we can also stun. Our hand has an extra physical I don't mind playing, so I think we actually will do that. So we're going to use Venom's ability, which is once per phase, so we can take a damage here, and then we'll pitch Savage Attack to play Grasping Tendrils. And so the attack is canceled, and we get a stun. So some good safety there, especially because we have 2 encounter cards coming in. First encounter card. By any means. Okay. A bunch of these scale based on the amount of cards routed. Ooh, not you. I wonder what the concerns are about printing cards with the same name or not. So by any means, when revealed, place an additional threat here for each villain underneath routed. So 4 on top of a hazard. Next card, Exhaustion. Oh, that's so bad. We lose a lot of value to this. Oh my god, playing a Valkyrie campaign and drawing Exhaustion, literally the worst thing. So we're exhausted and it surges. So that sucks because we lose our pistols. At least we have firepower, so maybe we'll be okay. Next card, Gang Up. Okay, so this also does nothing because we just lose the stun. Okay, and it's back to us. Let me just catch up on my coffee. So this sucks. We can clear this with Rocket, though, and our multi-gun. Build support is kind of worth playing. We could play build support. We could play firepower. I don't think we want to play Throg that much. So if we clear, keep up the pressure, we can get another card back. We can definitely defeat Greycrow. Bug is still on 1 health, which is awkward because we're exhausted. And Bug only cares about a basic attack, not an attack, right? Yeah, makes a basic attack. Okay, so I'm going to take a damage to play firepower for wild. And I will exhaust. We get to feed Greycrow, actually. It might be fine. Like, maybe we should just push it. Rocket and our gun will do this. So, nah, I think we want to get rid of by any means. So we'll exhaust for 3. We'll exhaust for 3. And these are both ranged attacks, so we don't take retaliate. Greycrow's down to 2 damage. Villain takes 6. We'll multi-gun for 2. Clear by any means. And then Rocket Raccoon will be defeated, clearing that. And then here we'll just pitch 1 for build support. If we draw our 3 threat card, it's good to clear this thing. Our 3 threat event. Just on the basis it allows us to get the Quinn Carrier, which is totally fine. Bug, we're not going to do anything. I don't think we're going to do anything with the Morlocks. We're not really pressed, but you always can in a pinch thwart with them if you want, and we'll pass. Greycrow, yeah, still attack is pretty hard. There's a run and gun, huge. Spider Sense is okay. Helicarrier might be a bit too late. Genius will help. And we have a behind enemy line. So that's a confuse. So we can jump down if we want to. All right, it's Greycrow time. Greycrow is attacking for 5 and a card. This Morlock will be the target. So hopefully no piercing. 5, 6, 7. Loses the toughness. 1 encounter card. Assault. Uh-oh. That's the last assault, so Greycrow is just going to attack again. So these Morlocks will be the target, so I think we have to put our body on the line, which is fine, because we have a run and gun. So we will block. So Greycrow's text again, we have to decide whether we want to give discard a card with the highest cost, which will be a multi-gun. That's a non-starter. So we're going to be attacked for 5 and a boost. We'll be blocking for 1, 2. With 2 pistols, we'll be blocking for 4. In fact, we could just send Bug into this. That might be better. Honestly, it might be better. I think we could win this round. Because we multi-gun for 2, then we block, then we ready. Yeah, I think we want to be ready for this. Because if we defeat Greycrow, we want to be ready because the next villain will attack us. And by attack us, I mean attack the Morlocks. You, in theory, can just let the Morlocks die, which, like, I don't want to do that for obvious reasons, but you could just let the Morlock go down. If you lose 1 Morlock, unless you play strict campaign mode, I don't think it matters. But I think we'll block with Bug here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Riptide. Bug is fallen. Give me 1 sec. Cool. All right, that's that. So it's us. Yeah, do we play Spider Sense here? Maybe we do. We do like Genius for Spider Sense. Because Greycrow will definitely attack us, or the next villain will attack us. And then with that card plus 2, we can play Run and Gun. I don't think we need the Confuse. Unless we draw a double, we can play it. I think we will. So we'll play Spider Sense. Just a fun card. Spider Sense. So whenever the villain attacks us, or initiates an attack more accurately, so right at the top before boost we can draw a card, then we're going to just use multi-gun here to just do 2 damage, and that will defeat Greycrow. And so we have to do the routed thing again. So Greycrow gets tucked underneath here. We have to tuck our third villain to win. We get a second retaliate, and it reveals Chimera. So villain name Chimera. Health is 14. And we're looking at Chimera B. So Chimera is going to activate. When Chimera attacks you or an ally you control, either spend 2 mental or she gets +2 attack. So she's attacking for 1, 2, and then it's up to us. When Chimera attacks, I think that happens before, like, I'm not sure the order here. If you know, please let me know. I don't know whether that should fire before the Spider Sense fires, because this is when you initiate an attack. I think that probably happens before the attack. Like, it sounds right. So Spider Sense says when you initiate an attack, we can draw a card. So we'll draw a card here. We got Groot. I'm assuming this hand will just play run and gun, and we'll blank our ability. The other option is we can play behind enemy lines and hop down. We could clear build support for another research generator. We could hop down with the confuse. That also might be reasonable. We know both advances are out, so not too scared to jump down. When we jump down, we could Project Rebirth, and then we're likely to set up a firepower to do 14 damage. Functionally, actually, maybe do we win? Wait, we just win this turn, don't we? Because if we take this attack, if we just take this attack to our face, there's no way it can kill us. It can do 7 damage worst. Then we attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. We take 2 retaliate damage. Then we ready ourselves, gun plus firepower. So gun clears keep up the pressure. Then we do firepower, which does 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it's very likely we have lethal. The Morlocks finish it off. Yeah, I think we just like take the damage here, because I think we just win this turn, because keep up the pressure is that good. So we won't block. Attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's this boost? If you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage to it. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to read the rest of that text. That's fine. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go down to 4. Okay. And I think we should have lethal here, because we can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will 1, 2, 3, 4. We take 2 retaliate damage for, not first, but so we're down to 4 and Chimera's down to 10. Wait, our multi-gun's exhausted? Since when? Oh yeah, wait, this might not be right. Oh no, we're gonna ready it, it's fine. Then we'll pay 3 for run and gun. I hope my math is right here. I think our math is right. So ready Venom in each weapon you control. So we're ready, ready, ready. Now what we can do is we can use multi-gun to clear keep up the pressure. It gets us a weapon. The weapon does 8 damage, and then Venom does 2. Yeah, we have exactly here. So a multi-gun here to clear keep up the pressure. So we'll remove 2 threat from this. It says when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for an attack event. Until the end of the phase, each attack event deals 1 additional damage. Oh, actually, this is very close. I think we're 1 health perfect if I did this right. So we have a firepower now. Firepower we can play by taking a damage. I don't think we've done that so far. And we can exhaust 2 weapons. So we'll take a damage. And we'll exhaust this and exhaust this. And so this does +1 damage, so it does 4 into 4. And these are ranged, so that drops Chimera down to 2. And then Venom will attack for just 2. But because we defeated Chimera, we don't take the retaliate because we win the game. Our villain is Harpoon. No, that's so bad. Going into stage 2, but that is it. We totally knocked out 3, exactly with 1 health left. So got a bit lucky on the boost there. If things went really, really poorly off that boost, we would just hop down and we recover and we play the confuse card instead. But yeah, the burst is really, really strong with firepower, right? The fact that we always leave that card on the table that can represent an 8 to 12 damage burst, like obviously you can go through some later stages pretty quickly. We also had 2 more damage with the Morlock. So if we were low health, we would just attack with a Morlock, take retaliate 2, attack with a Morlock, take retaliate 2. Or if might have been better to use the Morlocks to do the side scheme, so we can just gun the face and not take retaliate, but it shouldn't matter. That's it. All right. That's part 1 functionally. Part 2 is going to be a bit harder because the villain that we're going to have to deal with for the entire scenario is now Harpoon. And when Harpoon attacks you, either take 3 indirect damage or give an additional face down boost card. This attack gains overkill, which means chump blocking is pretty bad. We'll be attacked for somewhere between 3 and 9, which is a huge range. Taking 3 indirect damage is maybe a way that we can use our minions as like pseudo block, but that's one of the tougher ones to go into stage 2. I find there's such variance between the different Marauders in the set. We'll see how this holds up. So far, so good. It's currently 12:42. We have at least 1 more game. I would love to be able to take down Juggernaut just in our like soft campaign run. We keep up the pressure. These Morlocks. I think there is technically some reward for rescuing the Morlocks in campaign mode. Let me double check. I don't know if we're actually going to do it because there's a lot of other campaign stuff we're not doing. We're not doing any of the side scheme stuff. So we were meant to record 2 Morlock saves, and then for each Morlock save, choose a player to search a deck for 1 card, add that to their hand. Okay, so that's the benefit of saving Morlocks is we can search our deck for 2 cards, that's actually a really strong reward on the basis that starting with our weapon is very, very good. Event won by the most powerful IDs ever printed. Reyna plus Architects of Tomorrow. I return to the crash space. Architects of Tomorrow, I'm not surprised. Reyna probably is a bit better in a format that the other IDs are less good. Tone Flag, neutral. But congratulations. Are those your IDs or those were the IDs that won it? Either way, hopefully you had a good time. For those who don't know, this is a Netrunner tournament, from my understanding, in which you can only play with the cards that are rated by the community to be the least powerful cards in competitive standard, as much as it technically isn't a standard format, right? We're meant to remove Harpoon from the game. And we'll just set this up. This goes here, we're good. Someone from my meta won with those. Oh, very cool. Is it online, I take it? I'm assuming the accessibility is a bit higher if that's an online tournament. Okay, that's not that. So there should be 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is ours. These we're gonna still need. These we're gonna still need. There should be 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna need all these cards. And then these are out. I'll do a better job cleaning up in the near future. But for the sake of the stream, we'll just pack this up to some extent. I don't know who did it, but it was on Board Game Geek many, many moons ago. And I think it was a rage bait post, but I'm not 100% sure. But the point of the post was somebody saying, hey, this is how I clean up my board games. And you saw the person, they just grabbed all the components and swept them into the box. You know, like a tornado happened. Just like dumped them all into the box with no organization. And their response was, I don't know if I'll ever play this game again, so why spend the time cleaning it? And I'm pretty sure it was a rage bait post, but it's like lived rent free in my head. Just to be... Firstly, I don't know if I'm going to play it again. It's just definitely a weird take. I don't know if it's like a mortality thing or there's so many board games out there, but I don't know. Whenever I'm cleaning up, just like throwing everything loosely into the box is always somewhat the dark passenger there. All right. Hope's captive. Not desperate yet. Confident even. We have 2 of these. These all get shuffled, and we're going to play with some more minions, so Man on the Wall might look a bit better. Good that we got that on turn 1. It was online. Hopefully it will make a return for this year's off-meta month as well. Format is the turn on the bottom 50% of community voted cards. That's pretty sick. I totally forgot about off-meta month. I didn't have time to participate in last year, but there were some really good tournaments. I know you organized some as well. All right, welcome to On the Run. This scenario is a big jump up in difficulty. I know a lot of newer players, when they were picking up this box, they were like, okay, I could get through Morlock Siege, but On the Run is wild. And I think one of the big things is On the Run is one of the rare scenarios that has double acceleration functionally per player on one of the main schemes, just as it comes out. It also does have these like difficulty jumps, which some scenarios have this, where if you're not prepared and you advance the act, you just end up with more minions in front of you and you can just get schemed out really quickly. So I'm not a big fan of those big jumps where if you're not seeing it coming and you haven't played the scenario before, you can just do something foolish. Thematically, it makes sense that something happens there, but yeah, those like gotcha moments sometimes don't resonate super well. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a whole bunch of them, which... yeah, not my favorite. But this one, if you advance the act, if you defeat Harpoon on part 1, Harpoon spawns again, gets toughness, and spawns some allies. And that's a bad spot to be in unless you're prepared for it. So you want to be prepared for when to advance. Otherwise, you can't just get blown out. All right, this deck is shuffled. I should know what's in here. This is Scenario On the Run. So we're going to be mostly seeing the same cards. Gotta get away. So On the Run has only 8 cards. One of them is, I think, starting on the table. Military Grade is still here, as much as it didn't show up in the last scenario. And then while we are going to have the Mutant Slayers, which I think is necessary, we're also going to be having Nasty Boys. Just little minions. They have teamwork. I'm not sure at this point in time in Marvel Champions if the teamwork rule was changed or not, but we're going to be playing with the modern teamwork rule, which says when a new minion enters, I believe that minion activates if teamwork has hit its trait, as opposed to everybody activating, which is a bit more of a snowball. So it says put one random Marauder villain into play. That you don't do because we're playing that Harpoon was the 4th minion. Otherwise, you could full random this if you're playing standalone. And then we have to go search the deck for a Marauder and put it in play. Classically, I go for one of the 4 health ones. They're just one of the easier ones to do on turn 1. So I'm going to go for Vertigo, and we start with Vertigo in play. I think we do that. Each other villain. Oh, I think we do it on the other side of this card. Excuse me, I did it too early. So this comes in with one threat. It says each Marauder minion gains steady. In expert mode, the villain also gets steady. We'll remember that. We do actually have a bunch of stun and confuse. Didn't use a lot of it. When revealed, each player searches the counter deck for a Marauder minion. There you go, and puts into play. So we have Vertigo with 4 health, has guard, as they all do in this mode. No, they don't. They will eventually, but she does have guard. And when this is completed, we lose the game. It only has 8 threshold. It gets 1 per turn. So this is Vertigo. Vertigo is not the worst. 4 health guard. It says when Vertigo activates, either we can stun a character or give +2 attack, which is still only 2 attack, so that's not a big deal. And while we have Harpoon starting in play with only 13 health, I have to set that up. Harpoon, when he attacks, either we take 3 indirect or get an additional boost card and overkill, which is actually a lot of damage. A lot of variance too, so it's hard to predict what we're expecting there. Villain name Harpoon, villain set 13. Now the big thing here is that villain has captured Hope. This is Hope's captor. So permanent attachment. If then the villain would attack you, if there's a Marauder minion engaged with you, the villain schemes instead. So that means Harpoon actually won't be attacking us on turn 1, which is something we can use to our benefit if we think it's really necessary, as much as the threat thresholds are relatively low on these schemes, and we lose if they're completed. So we have to watch out. You also can get something like bad ordering if you draw multiple encounter cards, or if you draw a minion and then draw something like an assault that turns out to be an advance, and you can lose that way too, which is a bit explosive. Now, when the villain would be defeated, don't. You reset, you flip this over, and then we go to stage 2, which is a lot harder. So to some extent, you can maybe survive a bit on stage 1 and set up. I'm assuming that's what we're going to do. We're not going to rush out as much as 13 damage isn't a lot. But there's a big difference in difficulty between stage 1 and stage 2. I do like how they took this like 13 health minion and made it, or sorry, I guess villain, and made it seem like the 2-stage villains that you're kind of used to. I think that's kind of a neat trick. You get some scenarios like that in Arkham as well, where it feels like they've balanced them for your second playthrough, not your first. But I think, okay, in Arkham Horror, I think that's so much more permissible because it's meant to be like a horror film. It's meant to be a jump scare. It's meant to be, you know, oh no. As much as the core set, I think, does it to an extreme that nobody really likes. But you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. That does happen. I don't think they've done it that bad in a while. But like knowing when this advances, the boss shows up. If you don't know, that's still kind of fun. Man, I think in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's like in Batroc, you can just lose. There's a way to advance when 2 threat, you just lose. That's just kind of wild. When you advance Zemo, you just get attacked for like 600. You can just lose. Very, very strange. I think also some of that is like just playing solo to some extent, because I do think Batroc is not incredibly... It seems like the balance is different in solo and multiplayer because you just have higher thresholds to work with. All right, and we're off. Flash Thompson, Alter Ego, go get a gun. Last time we got a pistol, we're hoping to get the multi-gun. We just don't want to get the pulse grenade, which functionally did not show up in that scenario. But we're off. So all we want to do is defeat Vertigo, which to defeat Vertigo, we either need a multi-gun, slightly more damage because we only have 2 attack, and then Harpoon will attack us really, really, really hard. So hoping for the best. Quinn Carrier, we never keep this. We literally cannot play it. Weird card include, bro. Run and gun, useless. Are we going for another 6 mul? Pulse grenade, I think, okay, it's really good that we drew this because we don't want to draw this in our Alter Ego ability, but we're not keeping that. Build support, this is in the maybe camp. We can only really clean this easily with our one, forget behind enemy lines, I think it's called, or if we get our multi-gun, but it's an okay card to keep. It sets up our Quinn Carrier, which we can't play it any other way. Groot. Man, I like Groot a lot. If we draw a double, we can consider it. Nick Fury. Okay, never mind. Everything. Discard all cards. Play Rashida Yahim. We're going to discard these 5. Hope for a double. Nick Fury is just easier to play because we always have that wild resource. So functionally, we go up another card. But we'll hopefully get a double here. Nowhere. Okay, not the most important card, but the games where it comes down, it's actually pretty good. Run and gun's garbage. Behind enemy lines is not bad. Could have kept a build support. Confuse is also nice because Harpoon, if we can stay on Alter Ego as much as we can, that's a lot better. We got a pistol, so now it's a 50% chance we get our multi-gun. We got our Spider Sense, which is also not bad, but no doubles here. Do our Alter Ego, discard until we find a weapon, so 50% chance, yes, to be the multi-gun. And so I think all our goal here is play Nick Fury, play multi-gun. And that should be us. Let's do it. Okay, so Alter Ego, there's nothing really we have to do. We could consider playing Nick Fury and Alter Ego first in case we draw our Alter Ego support or we draw a Man on the Wall, which Man on the Wall is playable and actually does something on this turn. We definitely don't want to keep Run and Gun. We definitely don't want to keep Behind Enemy Lines and Nowhere. All these other cards are like not bad. They're unique cards. Looking at a discard pile, we only lost one double. So the chance of drawing a double here by drawing 3, it's like, I don't know, my gut instinct is like maybe 30%, but I'm pretty bad at estimating hypergeometrics. If we draw 3 cards, 3 cards plays multi-gun, 1 card plays pistol. I think we're going to be happy with that. And so far, 2 run and guns are out, which is like, you love to have your run and guns in the bottom half of your deck for obvious reasons. So I think we are going to play Nick here after we jump up and hope that we don't draw a Man on the Wall. We'll take 1 damage with our ability, generate 3 + 1, and we'll play Nick. With Nick's text, you almost always do the draw 3. This is also really nice because we've now hit the 4 damage threshold for Vertigo, and we'll draw 3. Bug, Endurance, shame, Firepower, fine. So is Pistol 1 better than Endurance? I honestly don't know. 1, 2. Endurance is a good card. We still have a fair few allies left in our deck. Actually, no, we don't. We have Angela, we have Throg, I think. We have Gamora, we have Rocket. We do have Throg. 1, 2. I think we just put all our guns down. 3. Multi-gun. We got numbers, that's for sure. Endurance is a good card. Which card game are you talking about? I'm going to set it up that in Cerebro, I have the ability to pull up Marvel Netrunner cards. Because I feel like there's always conversations where I want to show other cards from other games for context. I started working on a version of this bot for Arkham. It's so much harder to get the cards in nice text. It's a lot of work. But I would love to be able to show the better Endurance. All right, Nick will attack for 2. Doesn't really matter what we do this turn. We'll just play our pistol. And so we will attack for 2 into Vertigo. Yeah, that's fine. We will use the pistol for 3 attack. Vertigo is defeated. Harpoon will attack into Nick, which is fine. And then we'll just use multi-gun to keep this in check. And we're good. We'll pass. Draw 5. 1, nice. 2, okay, slow down there. 3, it's a frog. 4, a Gamora, okay. We actually can play we can play this whole hand. Run and gun, ooh, probably worth it. So we're probably gonna play 1 ally, 1 run and gun here. All right, this goes to 1, has no special text, and Harpoon now has text because Harpoon is going to be attacking for either 3 and 3 indirect or 3 an additional boost card with overkill. Oh, I forgot how bad Nick Fury is into this. So I think the best way to take the least amount of damage. So, okay. The math on this should be intuitive. Let's see if I can do it right. If Harpoon attacks for 3 and a boost card with overkill, we could take up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Unlikely. On average, probably around 7 damage. 6 damage. Let's say 6 damage. So Nick takes 2, we take 5. The other way is we can take 3 indirect. We can put 1 on Nick, 2 on us, and then Nick will guarantee block about 5. So I think it's probably... Which one is better? Because overkill is bad for obvious reasons, but indirect is only 2 to us. It's functionally like we take indirect 2. But we see 1 fewer boost card. I think we're just going to go ahead and take 3 indirect here. So we'll take 1 on us, 2 on us. Sorry, 1 on Nick, 2 on us. And then Harpoon's attacking for 3 in a card with no overkill. 4. If the villain is attacked, this gains piercing, so it's 4 damage. So Nick is defeated. We'll be able to see in a very healthy results-oriented way whether the next card has a lot of boost icons. 2 boost icons. So that would have been 3, 4, 5, 6. Would have taken 2, we would have taken 4. This took less damage. The Senator's support comes in with 4 threat. We can clear that this turn. It says when defeated, the first player will discard cards until we get an attachment. A lot of the attachments attach to your hero and give you downsides. So got to keep that in mind. I'm not 100% comfortable that I know what the attachments are, whether we should play around something on. I think one of them blanks your villain, or sorry, your hero's text. So we should use our wild resource before we defeat that, if we defeat that. But that's good. Okay, it's us. So let's start doing things. Multi-gun, 2 threat, off the Senator's support. Seems good. Then we will attack for 1, 2, 3. We're really not in a rush to defeat Harpoon, but I mean, when in Rome, down to 10. Then we will do... We'll try and use our wild here first. So we'll generate 1 with our hero ability. And then we'll do 2, 3 into... I guess we'll play Gamora first, just in case. Gamora, we can only play for a Guardian. We have to watch out. In Alter Ego, I don't know if we are a Guardian. So it's good that we played this here. Her numbers are fine. And when she attacks or thwarts, we can go get a card from our deck if we want to. It's not a force response. I don't think we'll get it on this turn because we don't actually need it. If we had +1 card here, we could maybe save 1 damage from us. Maybe that's actually worth it. We could have played her first, then discarded. I don't actually know if we're going to activate her. You don't really want to add chump block into Harpoon. Oh man, Harpoon's really hard to toe-to-toe with. Okay, so then we'll just do 3 for Run and Gun. So we ready ourselves and all our things. I'm just going to multi-gun to knock out the Senator's support, which says that we discard cards from the top of the deck until an attachment is discarded, and we reveal the attachment. Nice. Nice. Okay. All right, Exoskeleton. So attach an enemy with the fewest remaining hit points. So that's going to be the villain. Attached enemy cannot take more than 2 damage from a single attack. Multi-gun's not an attack, which is good. And choose to either spend 3 resources of any type or remove a confused or stunned status from attached enemy to discard this card. Ooh, that's not good. That like really, it sort of hurts our firepowers because they do 3 into 3 into 3. But we're going to attack for 1, 2, 3. The villain can only take 2. Down to 8. Again, to get rid of this, remove 3 resources of any type. That's something we can do. We lost all our doubles at this point, but I think we're going to pass here. Gamora can always block, and then that's not great. I think we'd rather use our attacks. I honestly don't know what we want to do here. If we jump down, this goes to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've seen no advances so far, so we could consider jumping down. We haven't seen any of our alter ego cards ourselves. This is the wrong discard pile. Oh, almost got you there, Andre. But we haven't seen our rebirth egg. We haven't seen Man on the Wall. So we are incentivized to jump down a bit here. This all average go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we draw in advance, we lose the game. Sometimes that is the solo curse. Do you want to risk it and jump down? Yo, CD, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Crash Space. It's been about a month. It's good to be back for sure. Welcome to the new studio. I don't know if we need to jump down. Harpoon's going to be attacking for 3. We can do 2 indirect onto Gamora. I think we do need to heal. I'm going to jump down. We'll risk it. If we just lose, this is our first Venom loss. If it's because we jump down, I guess it's on us. 1 behind enemy lines. Okay, that's good. Savage attack. It's fine. Last pistol. Keep up the pressure is good. Hall of Heroes is fine. Please get us one of our alter ego cards. Hey, we did. Man on the Wall. Nice. Okay, this goes to 2. Harpoon schemes for 1 in a card. No boost icons. That's huge. I think we're now bulletproof. Now 1 encounter card. Tag team. What's this? When revealed, each Marauder minion, discard 7 cards from the top of the counter deck, put the topmost Marauder minion in the counter discard pile into play engaged with you. Again, the discard pile order matters in this game, which I find a bit frustrating, but this is good because now Man on the Wall does something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like how this is worded because if this misses, you still get it, go to the whole discard pile, but we're going to have to go get Grey Crow here. Grey Crow, 4 health, retaliate 1. 4 health is just good enough. That's 1 shot from 2 pistols and an attack. And that's not bad. Okay, it's back to us. In fact, we probably do multi-gun and Gamora to defeat Grey Crow. This might be a chance to get the Hall of Heroes down, which like this card has just been in our hands for every time we draw. We never play it. I think it probably fires at some point. We definitely want to get Man on the Wall down. I'm not too stressed about the skeleton, so maybe we do like this plays that, we recover, which means we lose our pistols, but that's fine. This plays that, this plays our pistol in hero mode. I want to play this because we haven't seen Master Plan yet, and then we can behind enemy lines and play Wild Mental. Yeah, actually that works, and we get half a confuse. I think we can do that. Yeah, okay. So we'll do Savage Attack to play Man on the Wall. We are alter ego, a soldier in alter ego, so we can play this. I think we're going to recover 4 because I'm scared of Harpoon. So we have 4 recovery. We're exhausted. We will flip up We can get another card with Gamora if we want to. We will multi-gun to do 2 damage to Greycrow. And then we're going to use Gamora, who's going to finish off Greycrow. Wait, are we playing... I don't think we're playing Hall of Heroes, are we? No. No, we're not. So, not you. But Gamora is going to attack for 2. And it says after Gamora attack. So we defeat Greycrow. We can choose to discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an event. Again, what does that do? It lets us play Keep Up the Pressure. Because this gets played for that. Yeah, that's worth it. So we'll discard until we have an event. 1, 2. Okay, Grasping Tendrils. That's fine. Okay, we will use Grasping Tendrils to play our second pistol. We'll stack them. Okay, so we got all our necessary weapons in our first cycle. Super important. Both ready. Oh, before we were meant to do that, sorry, we were meant to man on the wall the pistol. Very important that we do man on the wall before we killed anything. Again, we had it planned out. I don't feel bad about it, but we need to use this while the minion is there. Huge mistake. And then we're going to do... Did I mess this up? Did we not need the card? I guess we didn't need the card. Yeah, okay, weird. So Venom will take a damage. I think I might have messed this up. We might be over 1 resource here. So we'll take 1. And then we'll do Behind Enemy Lines. The wild we generated, we made it a mental, and then we're spending another mental. So remove 3 threat, and we get it confused. Now Harpoon is steady, so we're going to need another. And then we're just going to play Keep Up the Pressure, which it's good to have something there on the table. It beats Master Plan. And if we ever take this off with our multi-gun, we can just go get our firepower, as much as we have to deal with the Titanium Exoskeleton. Grasping Tendrils, I don't know how many physicals are left in our deck. I'm going to hope that we can hold on to it. It's a really good card, as much as we are steady, but I think that's it. We'll pass. We're looking for physicals here. 1, 2. Okay, we have another physical. We're perfect. Angela, Rocket, and another Grasping Tendrils, which they have physicals themselves, which is good. Go to 1 threat. I'm great. Registered on World Showdown. Yo, started to play MC. Love your Black Widow protection deck. Sadly, can't watch your Tuesday streams. It's like 5 a.m. for me. Yeah, sorry. Well, hey, actually, Tuesday streams, they don't exist anymore, which is maybe a bittersweet. Feel better. But it's only Thursday streams now, so those are probably a bit better for you, maybe. But excited that you're getting involved in the Showdown. It's going to be a massive event for sure. It's like new meta. I think people are hyped about that. All right, we're going to use Venom's ability here. We're going to take a damage. Then we're going to pitch Grasping Tendrils to play Grasping Tendrils. So this says, when the villain initiates an attack, cancel it. And we get a stun as much as we're still steady. Well, that's good. Now we just draw 1 encounter card. Advance. Okay, this will go through. The Confuse will stay because we are steady. So Harpoon's going to scheme for 1 in a card. It's good to know what those are. 3 boost icons, bummer. So this goes up to 5. And it's back to us. Thursday streams? Oh yeah, Thursday streams. Okay, that makes more sense. Yes, that time zone is not the best for a lot of people. Tuesday streams were like perfect for that sort of thing. Apologies for that. Okay, I think our hand just plays Rocket just to deal with the threat. And we just continue to truck on, do our numbers-based gameplay. So we'll do 1, 2, take a damage. Play Rocket Raccoon. We could, in theory, use Gamora to not have to take a damage here. I don't think we want to do that. I think 1 card is fine. We actually, not sure if there's any events left in our deck. I'm going to check. We have a Savage Attack, a Rebirth, a Locked, and a Helicarrier. So half our deck is this event. We do have the Rebirth coming up, so we're incentivized to jump down here or the next round, but we're going to draw an encounter card. And I don't like to be jumped down when we draw an encounter card, because the more likely you're to hit something that says the villain activates. And if we lose, we lose. Okay, multi-gun for 2. We can thwart for 3. I'll just do Gamora for damage. We can block with Gamora. Oh no, she'll miss the cycle. So I guess we don't use Gamora unless we need her text. Because Gamora will not be in our discard pile by the time that we shuffle it, which you sometimes want to watch out with allies. I think we can leave this at 1 then. So we'll do Rocket for 2. We'll attack for 1, 2, 2 pistols for 4 damage. We can't do 4 damage though. Exoskeleton. That's fine. We'll do 2 damage. And then I think we'll just pass. Bummer. Okay. Does Gamora work when you attack or thwart? Okay, it's both. I thought it was just attack. And we'll pass. First cards, attack, Project Rebirth, Helicarrier, which we do want another resource generator. We have Locked and Loaded, which can get us our Pulse Grenade if we don't draw it here. We're going to draw 1 card out of like 30. If we draw our Pulse Grenade, I mean, it's technically fine. It doesn't actually change anything. I watched them all and recorded. I found PT Trap Stack, and oh my god, I love them. I laugh every time I got Karambo in my hand, and I probably bring it to Showdown. I think if you don't fancy yourself to be a player that can like, it's like hard to say this without sounding dismissive, but I think if you're going into a competitive event and you don't think you can toe to toe like hyper competitive players that like do testing and, you know, do the competitive netrunner circuit, and you play traps, it is a high variance game plan, but you can take wins off of anybody. So keep that in mind, right? Like, I'm not saying that you can't win playing LEO. I just want to say like, it's actually a pretty good strategy is play a high variance deck to go to a massive tournament that has a high skill ceiling. Cause sometimes it just goes your way for sure. Sometimes it doesn't, but like, hey, if you enjoy playing traps, you know, that kind of sort of feeling, right? Okay. We got nowhere. All right. This goes to 2. Harpoon is either attacking for a lot or a lot. So it's 3 in a card. We're on 9 health, 3 indirect damage. We can do 1 to Gamora, 1 to Rocket, take 1 to ourselves. And then we can block with Rocket. Doesn't seem that important here. We have Savage Attack if a minion shows up. All our locked and loadeds are in our deck. If locked and loaded could grab a card that said weapon on it, oh my god, it would be cool. If it could grab your running guns. What are we doing here? Maybe this is where we get rid of the exoskeleton. What is Harp doing? I think we will jump down this round. So we will take 3 indirect. We'll do 1 on Rocket, 2 on ourselves. And then we'll block with Rocket. I think I'd rather actually have Rocket than Gamora. So we'll do with Gamora instead. That might be wrong because her text is also good, but instead we'll take the 1 to Gamora. We'll block with Gamora. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Glad we did that. And Gamora's defeated. Doesn't have overkill. 1 encounter card. Did we just deck out? I feel like we just shuffled our deck and we didn't give ourselves an encounter card. Yeah, so the order is a bit different, but we must have just shuffled our deck, right? And we didn't give ourselves an encounter card. It's Ruckus. This is scary because teamwork, when revealed, stun each character you control. Oh, hate it. Okay, 3 health. So we're hoping not for a Nasty Boy because the second Nasty Boy will activate. How nasty is this boy? It's caught off guard. That is acceptable. Discard an upgrade or support. Not a lot of options, honestly. I'm going to get rid of the pistol. Maybe that's wrong. Man on the Wall is like still doing something. I like having a research generator. I don't know. I'll do the pistol for now. We'll see if we regret it. Easily could have been Man on the Wall. It's just like such a harder card to replay later on in the game. And it's back to us. This is the issue, is like locked and loaded only searches your deck. If it searches your discard pile, oh my god, a lot better. Oh, not you. But yeah, now this can only basically get our grenade if we want it. Okay, we kind of want to jump down. We need to delete Ruckus, but we are stunned. We have to Savage Attack to defeat Ruckus, which is acceptable. So Savage Attack, we can do the overkill by throwing Nowhere, taking a damage. We can play Project Rebirth, and then this card gets ugly, so we play this card to get 1, and I think maybe we can't do it. Okay, I think we're going to jump down for sure. So I think we're going to lose some efficiency here, but multi-gun will clear this. So jumping down is super safe. Venom will just attack to get rid of the stun, because our intention is to play the card in our hand. So the only way that we can give Savage Attack overkill is by spending 2 mentals. Sorry, 2 energy. So this is an energy. The only other energy we have is off of our ability. So I guess we'll take 1. And so this does 5 damage with overkill. So Ruckus takes 3, Harpoon takes 2. What's really interesting in some ways is about Venom's kit is that classically each resource type is attached to a certain like trait. And energy is usually the defense resource, or physical is usually the attack resource. The fact that the attack event uses energy, I'm not 100% sure why that is, whether it's theme or balance, but it's weird. It's definitely weird. Oh, before I do that, excuse me, Man on the Wall, I have to not do that. For Rebirth, was it right to Man on the Wall for the Helicarrier? Was it? Because I'm wasting 2 cards here. We could always use Rebirth to draw a card to go play the grenade. Maybe that's fine. Yeah, because we can recover for 4. We'll be fine. So we'll flip down. We'll use Project Rebirth just to draw a card. It's Face the Past. We're not going to play that. And then we'll play Locked and Loaded, which you can do on either side. So we can search our deck for a weapon. We have one weapon in here, if I'm not mistaken. It should be the grenade. And then we'll pitch 2 to play the pulse grenade. Okay, so this is a weird weapon. It's a bit of a burst damage card. We don't know how much damage it'll do, but the biggest thing is that it's not restricted, so that our slots are not contested. But on top of that, we can exhaust this at no cost for firepower. So it just means every firepower is now a 1 for 3 at a minimum, and we can probably exhaust a pistol or something like that. The pistols are better. For runner, I want to be that strange person that plays Mercury PT, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about my Mercury. I'm not sure in all other runners. I would definitely consider testing Mercury. I think just playing a bunch of drones and sending it centrals like is not the worst right now. I think there's going to be a lot more like fast advanced decks and like scoring decks that play smaller agendas. Like I've seen scoring Alcos more than anything else. So just like seeing more cards is worth something if you're playing against Nebulas and Alcos, and I don't know what else you're expecting. So I honestly, I don't mind it. I actually think like Mercury is maybe worth something. We will pass. Actually, we'll just attack with Rocket to get rid of the stun. And we'll pass. Draw 6, Locked and Loaded. Could get our last pistol if we want to. Savage Attack for damage. Nick is here, which is good. Strength for Nick. Hall of Heroes, maybe never. Grasping Tendrils is useless. Okay. This goes to 1. Harpoon Schemes for 1 and a card. 2 on exhaustion. So we go to 2, 3, 4, right? Math is hard. It goes +3, yeah. Looking not for an advance. Fizzing Deeds. These care about what sort of characters are on the table. So exhaust a character you control. I'll just go ahead and exhaust Rocket because I want to recover. And if any of these characters are in play, you do the other ability. There's none of them. This feels like a card that could have Surge on it. It doesn't. So pretty not bad for us. Okay, we have a threat issue here. We can take 2 off with multi-gun. That should be enough. I want to play Nick. I think Project Rebirth, we can recover to 10. Project Rebirth brings us to more than full health. I think having good health against Harpoon is good because the only thing I'm scared about is Harpoon's massive attacks. So we're going to worry about that. So I won't use Rebirth for the card draw. So let's just set this up first. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the cards we're definitely not going to play, and we'll play Nick Fury. So we'll draw 3. 1, 2, 3. We have a run and gun. Draw 2 run and guns. Not my favorite. Would love to spread those out. So when we advance Harpoon, with 4 health, we can definitely do this turn. We have to get another Marauder and put in play with Toughness. We choose what the Marauder is, so we can go for a 4 health Marauder. That's probably not that bad. I'm going to Rebirth. I don't think we're going to advance this turn. We might just hold on to the double run and guns and set them up next turn, but we'll Rebirth here to recover 3. And then we'll exhaust Flash to recover 4. So we should just go to 12. All right, we'll flip up our hand. We can hold the run and guns. Okay, wait, I'll win World Showdown with PT Mercury. I mean, it's definitely a deck that we would never consider out to be out. I think Mercury's a bit trickier against LEO. That's the one matchup that I think you're going to see a lot, but I don't think you're out of the contention there. Multi-gun for 2. We'll do our threat as we can. I guess we hold on to, yeah, so we'll do 1, 2 for Bug. Good old Bug. Nick will do a bunch of our blocking here. I think we'll just do Bug for... Oh, we should get rid of the exoskeleton. That'll be next turn's problem. So Nick... I think we'll just do Bug for 1 here, and then Nick for 2, because that means any attack will knock out Harpoon. Now the exoskeleton will stay because it's attached to the villain, and the next villain will have the same name. And then I think we'll just pass here and we'll hold on to double run and gun. We're definitely looking for a double resource here. This might be greedy, but I think we can get away with it. So we'll draw 1, 2, 3, Angela, 4, Spider Sense, 5, Firepower. Okay. This goes to 2. Harpoon attacks. We have to make a decision here. So Harpoon's going to attack for 3 in a card or 3 in 2 cards. I think we're going to take 3 indirect damage here. So we'll put 1 on Nick. We'll take 1 on Rocket and 1 to ourselves. I think that's the safest plan. And we'll block with Nick. The 3, 4. Nick is dead. No overkill. 1 counter card. Shadow. Ooh, that's actually perfect. Oh my god, we get the perfect man on the wall as well. But we are set up with the run and gun to deal with this. So Shadow of the Past, really goofy in specifically in Venom. So let me move these out of the way because we have to go grab our Nemesis minion. And by Nemesis minion, I mean Nemesis minions. They're all enraged symbiotes, so they all come in with 2 attack. If you play with a standard 3, this can get really, really bad, where you suddenly are taking 4 different attacks. But this is our Nemesis. They all have 2 health. They have guard and patrol. While his minions engage, you cannot thwart the main scheme. Okay, good reminder text what patrol is. Always need that. But with run and gun and our multi-gun, we should be able to delete all of these before we're going to use man on the wall and hopefully play something really cheap. In fact, we'll play a run and gun for free. We also have to get the Clintar Frenzy, which we definitely want to get rid of this. It says threat cannot be removed from this while there is a symbiote enemy in play. Whoa, what happens if you play against Venom and you draw this? This is just stuck on the table the whole time? Holy crap. Okay, and that's back to us. So it seems bad, but honestly, not bad at all. We can just start blasting. So we will. Multi-gun. Oh, we do lose a bit of Venom ability. Yeah, we do lose a bit of Venom's ability. So we'll do multi-gun here. And so we're going to do 1 damage to each minion engaged with us. So obviously we knock these down. Yeah, we lose a bit of value. That's fine. So we will attack for 1, 2, 3 into the symbiote. That heals bug. Oh, maybe we can do this slightly differently then. Then we will use man on the wall to generate 3 resources to play run and gun, which wakes all our weapons up and us. This 1 Black Panther upgrade. Yeah, it's basically the Black Panther upgrade, but it doesn't hit the villain, which is a bummer. Okay. So we can definitely do this again. I think if we attack for 1, do we advance here? Maybe we're not ready for that. So Raccoon can do overkill, advancing Harpoon. That will spawn another minion. That minion will have toughness. Bug can deal with the toughness. I think we're just going to push it. We want a multi-gun Clintar Frenzy because an extra card is pretty bad. We also have a firepower, which we can do 9 damage, which will clear the board. So I don't know if we do the 3rd run and gun. This is where if we, instead of having Rocket, had Gamora would be better, because having another card in our hand is actually really nice on this turn. So actually have to think what the line is here. Let's not think. Let's just send. So we'll attack with Rocket into one of these. Rocket, Raccoon, basic. So we're going to attack for 4 with Overkill. So that does 1 damage and 3 damage, which I think is reduced to 2 damage to Harpoon, and that will defeat Harpoon. The symbiote is defeated, as is Rocket. So we have a couple things happening here. We have to look at the text on Hope's Captor. So Hope's Captor says, when the villain would be defeated, reset attached villain's hit points to its printed hit point value and flip this card over. So the printed hit point value is 13. But we're going to give 6 more because we're going to do that in a second. So we're up at 19 health. Now we flip this over and we get Hope's Captor on the desperate side, which is a fair bit worse. So not only does this give a permanent +1/+1, you have +6 hit points. And when revealed, we advance the main scheme to stage 2A, which cannot be canceled. And when the villain would attack you, if a Marauder minion is engaged with you, the villain schemes instead. So we have to watch out for that. All right, so now threat is a bit faster because we have got hold of Hope. We need to leave with Hope. So this is escaping with Hope. 2A says, when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Marauder enemy and puts it into play. Give each Marauder enemy a tough status card, including Harpoon and whoever we put into play. So I think we're just going to go for classic Vertigo, who we started the game with. Comes in with 4 health, has guard. Where are you? Toughness. On the back of Escaping with Hope. Says, each Marauder enemy gains guard and steady. In expert, the villain gains steady, so that's an issue we have to worry about. It comes in with 1 threat. It gains 2 per turn, and if this is completed, we lose. And we just have to defeat now 19 health Harpoon to win. So the chase is on. All right, messy board state, but I do think the camera's zoomed in slightly too much, and it is back to us. So we need to deal with Vertigo. We do. So I think, oh man, we have so many options here. I think this might be a firepower turn. There's a chance we multi-gun to knock out 2 symbiotes and take the toughness off Vertigo. Then we can attack 1, 2, 3, 4 with Bug. We can ready. Then the multi-gun can take off this. That's probably the play. We can go for keep up the pressure. It gives us another card. We can play firepower. Not super powerful. But I think the multi-gun is just so good here to take the 1 damage to everything. So I think we have to do that. So deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with you. So it knocks out the last 2 symbiotes. So now we can clear Clintar Frenzy. And it takes Vertigo's toughness off. Again, actually keeping Vertigo in play is maybe worth something because Harpoon won't attack us. Harpoon will scheme. And while this will go up to 3, it's maybe not the worst thing to do. How many advances are out? I think just 1. But if we draw an assault that's functionally an advance, 2 assaults are out. I think we saw gang up as well. Or was that last scenario? That was last scenario. So there's still a fair few cards to say the villain could activate twice. Okay. How are we dealing with this? I think we want to keep up the pressure for the defeat turn, but I think we have to get rid of Titanium Exoskeleton to do the defeat turn because Firepower does 700 damage. So we're going to, I think we attack for 1, 2, 3 with the pistol into Vertigo. Bug. We'll finish Vertigo. We'll do that in the other order. We'll attack with Bug first, and then we'll attack with ourselves. So Bug heals, knocks out Vertigo. Again, it might be right to keep Vertigo into play. And then we're just going to pitch. I think we're just going to do a run and gun. And how many firepowers are left? Our deck has 2 more firepowers, so I don't think we have to be precious. We're likely to draw a firepower next round, or at least get one with keep up the pressure. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for second run and gun. So we're ready. All our weapons are ready. And we can just do this again. So we'll use multi-gun to knock out Clintar's Frenzy. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So that's gone. And then we'll just attack for 1, 2, 3, which will knock the toughness. Back to us. All right, so now Harpoon's attacking even more. We just need to survive about 1 turn and we should be okay. Endurance. Firepower, there you go. Behind enemy lines, we can get a full confuse off, which is good. Energy, okay. Booster boots, so we have the 2 mentals. This goes to 3 because it gets 2 per turn, and now Harpoon's attacking for 4 in a card, and then we still have to make that decision. And Harpoon's rough. So either we take 3 indirect, which we can give 1 to Bug, no problem, and then we can just take an attack. That's probably fine. We have a lot of health to deal with here. Oh, this is ready. And I think if we can get rid of Titanium, we might not have enough damage. I think we don't have enough damage. We can get rid of Titanium for 3 resources. Say we do that. Firepower does 4, 8, 12. We attack for 14. Then if we throw the grenade and get a good 5 damage, we win. I think we'll take 3 indirect. We'll take 1 on Bug. Oh, that's a big damage though. I think we're taking indirect, we block with Bug. So maybe we just take here double boost. Yeah, I think we just take double boost. I think the second boost card is likely to have less than 3 icons on it. So we're fine taking the double. The most we can take is 9 damage here. The double activate might be a problem if that shows up, but I think we're going to go take 1 additional face down boost card and we'll get overkill. So we can attack for 3 and 2 cards. We won't block or anything. We have no tendrils. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oof. A lot of damage. Down to 4, 1 encounter card. Bound by business. So we have to discard cards until Marauder minion and put that minion into play. There's the last advance. Hairbag is not a Marauder. Arclight is. Retaliate 1, 5 health. I like the artist who did this. Arclight just feels so much more anime than any other minion in this pack. The artist is credited here. Eleonora Carlini, but like very, very different style. I like it. 5 health. It says when Arclight attacks you, an ally, either confuse a character, which is fine, or a +2 attack. Okay. Again, these have guards, so now we have to deal with Arclight before we deal with anybody else. So that is a bit of a downside. So we might just take a slow turn here where we confuse Harpoon, clear Arclight, and jump down and set up the firepower burst for the final turn and recover. I think that's probably fine. So before we do any difficult maths, we'll just get this out of the way. We'll use Venom to deal with damage to Venom self, and we'll play behind enemy lines. So we will remove 3 threat. And because we only spend mental, we'll confuse. So we finally have double confuse. Okay. I think we'll probably recover, and we'll probably just play endurance. So we'll do a full recover turn. So 2 damage into Arclight. I guess we can't do a full recover. We'll attack 1, 2, 3 into Arclight, defeating Arclight. Do we play Endurance or do we spend 3 resources to get rid of the exoskeleton? I think we'd rather get rid of the exoskeleton. So Titanium Exoskeleton says, oh, wait a second. We can just get rid of this. Choose to either spend 3 resources or remove a confused or stunned status card. Wait, we can just get rid of the stun. I should have done that a while ago, I think. We'll get rid of that stun, which is just doing nothing. And to get rid of this, so now we can still play Endurance. We'll flip down. We will play Endurance, giving us +3 health. We can charge it all we want. Recover 3. And then we'll recover 3 more with Project Rebirth. We're on 9 health, which is good. Bug will attack for 1. The order there's a bit scuffed, but we can't do much about it. Down to 18, and we'll hold on to Firepower. I think we have 1 more in the deck. We're drawing 6 cards, a 7th card with Project Rebirth. We don't have to hold on to it. I'm not going to hold on to it because if we clear Keep Up the Pressure, we should get a Firepower. We're drawing 6 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's very likely when we see 7 cards, we draw the Firepower. If we don't, we'll get it off of that, but we should draw it. I'm not actually sure what else in our deck we're drawing into, so maybe holding onto it's reasonable. Hold on. Because the only other thing we would want here is our 2 for 5. Savage Attack. Savage Attack. Yeah, so I guess we just hold on to the Firepower for safety. 2, it's Groot. 3, Throg. Haven't played it yet. Another Firepower, bummer. Run and Gun. Oh, that's what we wanted to draw into. So I'm glad we have that. And we have build support. Okay. Everything's ready. Escaping with Hope goes to 1 to 2. I think I might have forgot to do that last round to put on 2. No, I think I did. We lose the Confuse. We get an encounter card. Bushwhack. This one we can ignore because we're going to win this turn, I hope. Bushwhack only comes in with 1 threat, but it has a hazard. But when you defeat it, you have to grab a Marauder minion. I really like this. Like, text on a card that's easy to clear, but has a downside when you clear it, and it's up to you to figure out when to clear it. I think this is such a cool design of a card. Okay. So it's back to us. We can do a bunch of damage. So we clear Keep Up the Pressure. We can grab a Firepower. We have a Run and Gun. So each Firepower does 12 damage. We almost definitely have it. And then we can throw the grenade for fun. So Project Rebirth, we can heal or we can draw a card. I think we just draw a card here because we're expecting to win. So we'll use Project Rebirth to draw. Behind enemy lines, fine. We won't recover. We're just going to full damage. So we'll flip up. Cool. Here, we will just use multi-gun. So we lose 2 damage, but I think we get more damage from it. So we'll remove 2 threat from Keep Up the Pressure, and we'll clear Keep Up the Pressure. Keep Up the Pressure says that you can search your deck and discard pile for an attack event, and all attack events deal 1 additional damage. So we can use this to go get, because we already have enough Firepowers, a Savage Attack, which is now a 2 for 6. Okay, that's that. We'll now attack for 3. Villain's down to 15. That heals Bug. Bug will attack for 1. Villain's down to 14. Now we will pitch 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we'll get rid of Firepower. 3 for Run and Gun. In theory, we should take damage, but I don't think it's going to matter. So we ready all our weapons. I'm just going to go ahead and exhaust a weapon, exhaust a weapon, exhaust a weapon, pitch 1 for Firepower. So every weapon we exhaust does 4 damage. So that's going to do 4, 4, 4. The villain is down to 2. And then obviously we have a bunch more damage here. We have 2 from us. We have Savage Attack, which we still have our ability. So that does 6. But we're just going to throw the grenade. Again, Pulse Grenade doesn't care if it's exhausted or not. Discard Pulse Grenade, choose an enemy. We choose Harpoon and discard 2 cards from the deck. So ideally this does 4 to 5 damage. 3, 5. Every single Pulse Grenade I've fired over the last 2 days has done 4 to 5 damage. And again, Expert helps, but there's some big boost icons on this. So this is 5 damage. Harpoon is dead. Clean. Felt like we were in control. We had to make some good decisions when to jump down and jump up, manage a bit of our resources. But once, cards are on table, cards do good numbers. Numbers good, go numbers. The rest of our deck was a Tendrils, a Genius, and a Quinn Carrier. So we drew pretty well. I think the way that we're playing this deck is that we maybe have 1 too many allies. I don't think we've been playing all our allies. I think Throg just isn't likely worth it unless we have support to grab allies, which you can, or sorry, minions, more accurately. I have played Nowhere in some of the games in my limited testing so far, and it's been pretty good when it shows up. It's just like in the first cycle of the deck, the weapons are so important that they basically come in at the cost of everything else. So you don't always get your other like nice setup cards, your luxurious setup cards. All right, we got one more. We're going to face off against Juggernaut, which is also really interesting. Juggernaut hits like a truck, and we have to protect our friend Hope, which is also cool. So let's just do a... We don't know if we have to play this again. Let's clean up, just shuffle it all into the box, and we'll set up our friend Juggernaut. You're a mutant slayer, right? Yeah. I don't think we... Oh no, we saw like one nasty boy. Yeah, the one that stunned us when it came out. That one's pretty bad. This is us. These are all us. I'm glad that we got to do the 4-cost man on the wall reduction, and it actually did kind of matter. This is here. Nasty. Nasty? I think Nasty Boys has a scheme called Guess Nasty. Almost every other encounter set has a scheme that's just called the thing that it's called. You are both mutant slayers. Okay, there should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 10. There should be 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're good. And then that's that. All right. Last stand here, it will be Jug. I don't think we'll have time to go on to Mr. Sinister, but Juggernaut's just like a really fun scenario. So remove Juggernaut 1, Juggernaut 2. So Juggernaut is unstoppable, comes in with the helmet, has a bit of a setup here. Let me grab, where did I put? Where is she? We need our friend. There's Hope. All right. The unstoppable Juggernaut. So villain name Juggernaut. Much healthier, 21 health. The one set 21. We'll set us at 12. So the unstoppable Juggernaut. All right, we're playing with all the required stuff, the expected stuff for now. Keep it simple. So Juggernaut it's a very small deck. A lot of these cards just do damage or attack. Very important one just attacks an ally. And if we lose Hope Summers, who's going to be on the table, we lose the game. So we always need to be ready for one encounter card that we have to chump block or block with. We also have Black Tom Cassidy, has a bunch of like quick strike minions that if they do damage, you get stunned, which is pretty ugly because a lot of our value attached to our pistols is attached about being ready. So being stunned actually does hurt us a bit. So we're going to play with all the set stuff. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're out. This is in. So it says attach Juggernaut's helmet to Juggernaut. So we'll just put that there. Put Hope Summers into play under the first player's control. Hope Summers is pretty good. Campaign Hope Summers. She doesn't take consequential and she basically has our stats. So she'll attack for 2, thwart for 1. She also has a mental icon in her lower left corner, which does matter in this scenario. Show you Juggernaut. I'll show you Hope Summers. And then that's good. Juggernaut's helmet. This is the thing that you want to remove as much as you can. This thing comes into play. It gives Juggernaut Overkill and Stalwart. We do like to do some stun or confuse, so Stalwart is not great. Overkill, I think we have a button for that. So chump blocking is bad too. And we can spend 3 resources of the same type, which luckily Venom's text generates a wild, so it should be a bit easier than we'd expect to remove this and flip it back. And yeah, it removes each momentum counter, which we'll start with 1 momentum counter. Now, there's only 1 scheme here, and I really like the structure of this one as well. Because if this advances, we don't lose the game. We just get attacked. And it's bad because we get attacked no matter what side we're on, alter ego or hero side. So there's this like kind of workflow that when this is completed, we remove all the threat. We flip the helmet up if it's unflipped. We place a momentum counter, and then Juggernaut attacks everybody, which is pretty bad. You can easily lose to that. I think that's most usually how I lose to Juggernaut, that attack out of nowhere. This goes into the deck as well. All right, Juggernaut 2 comes in with a lot of health. Says when revealed, place 1 momentum counter. We'll track that here. Also gets a toughness because we can't flip the helmet because it starts on this side. And that's it. It's going to be attacking. Gets +1 attack for each momentum counter. So it's coming in for 4 attack and has overkill. And if it hits Hope Summers, we lose the game. Hope Summers says if she's defeated, we lose. If she leaves play, I guess, but we should be in charge of that. And this encounter deck's actually not that thick. So we're a bit more consistent in hitting some of the worst cards in the deck. The things that say like Juggernaut attacks us or take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack. There's some pretty bad ones. You need to keep your health up for sure. Okay. That's mostly it. Our priority here is, again, set of guns, but we want to remove the helmet as much as possible. The backside of the helmet says Juggernaut takes more damage from cards that have a mental resource in their lower left corner, which that's good. I don't think any of our cards do that do damage, but obviously Hope does, Nick Fury does. I think I know those off the top. And if we keep it on unhelmeted mode, we don't have to worry about the +1 attack. It doesn't have overkill. It doesn't have stalwart. So then you can just manage Kane over there. Give me 1 second. Make sure everything is good. Everything is good. Okay, cool. Let's do our mulligan. Let's just shuffle this up real good. So far, we have not once drawn the pulse grenade on armed and ready, that's really good. Let's just give this a pile shuffle. I think we've got our multi-gun. No, the first game we didn't get our multi-gun down super fast, did we? But yeah, your pulse grenade off the top is like, ugh. Maybe I should be better at just tempoing the pulse grenade. It's just, I don't like doing damage for the sake of doing damage unless you hit a breakpoint to defeat a minion, for instance. And pulse grenade is obviously, who knows what's going to do. And so if you do a pulse grenade, it does 1 damage when you need 5. Your whole turn is kind of goofed up. I guess that's what's fun. I'm also surprised the grenade doesn't do like AoE damage. It sounds like it should, but a really fun tool. I think it interacts with Scarlet Witch's ability. I think I'd have to check that out, but I would definitely play Pulse Grenade Scarlet if we can. Okay, we're ready. Let's go. Face the past. I'm good. I'm good on turn 1. Frog. Okay, we have no minions, but it's sometimes nice to have just the little guy there. That being said, we have overkill on this side, so gotta be careful. Locked and loaded. Honestly, worth keeping. I'll try that sentence again. Locked and loaded is honestly worth keeping because our 1 thwart and Hope Summers' 1 thwart means that we can guarantee to get our multi-gun down on turn 1. It's pretty good. We have a pistol, so more likely to hit the multi-gun. We have endurance, which I'm definitely going to keep. I like endurance a lot. More health really helps in this scenario. And then we have the pulse grenade. Okay, so that's good. We can't draw that. So I think we keep these 3. The other option is we don't keep lock and load, and we just have a 50% chance of drawing our multi-gun. It's a 50% chance. Those are good odds, right? We also want to mulligan a bit aggressively to our Rebirth 2.0 and to our Man on the Wall. There's like maybe 7 minions in the deck, so it's not super minion heavy. I think it's entirely within Black Tom Cassidy. Black Tom, how do you spell that? I think it's like 7. Only 5 minions in the deck. Okay, so Man on the Wall is not going to be super important, barring grabbing our little tendrils. I think I can keep this. Having a double would be good because we can get rid of the helmet as soon as turn 1, but lock and load. Okay, so we have like 17 ways to get our multi-gun. Tendrils is useless. Angela, let's go for a discard. Oh, all right. Well, that changes everything. We mulligan 1 more card. We would have got a multi-gun. We actually would have had all 3 of our weapons in our opening hand, which maybe actually is too many weapons. Okay, so now lock and load. I don't care to play. Oh, we didn't keep it. 1, 2, 3. No, we did keep it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we did keep it. Excuse me. We should have 7 cards. Angela is honestly not the worst because Angela is more likely to get a tendril, and the tendrils have a when revealed ability. No, they have quick strike, right? What do the tendrils have? What are the tendrils called? Hold on. They are called Creeping Willow. I think they have quick strike. And so when you put it into play with Angela, the quick strike still fires. And yeah, that's not great. It's not a when revealed. So Angela will run into the Creeping Willow in an awkward spot. Okay. So we definitely play multi-gun at all costs. So we probably do 1, 2, 3. Then we can play endurance, and then we can take a damage to play the Venom's pistol, and we're like pretty good setup. Also, great thing is we didn't draw a single run and gun. We're gonna leave the helmet up for 1 turn and get attacked for 4 with overkill. I think that is what it is, but pretty good. So we'll spend 1, 2, 3 multi-gun time. Again, this will be how we manage threat usually. We will then pitch 1 for endurance, +3 health, so we're up to 15. We will flip. We will take a damage using Venom's ability. Play Venom's pistol. And now our Venom's pistol is not super useful this turn, but the most damage we can do is we can attack with Hope Summers. Again, Hope Summers' attack is equal to our printed attack, I think. It won't matter for this deck. Base attack. Okay. So not printed, but base. So she'll attack for the toughness. We'll attack for 3 damage. And then I'll just use multi-gun to keep this in check. In theory, we're wasting some value. We could do it next turn. Yeah, actually, let's roll with it. Juggernaut only schemes for 1, so we'll multi-gun for 2 damage instead. And then next turn, multi-gun will clear that on its own. Draw. Firepower. Nowhere. We could set that up. The energy, which will help us with the helmet. We have the savage attack for more damage and a run and gun. So we have a lot of options here. All of them are going to be good numbers. This goes to 2. Juggernaut now attacks. Juggernaut's attacking for 4 and a card with overkill. We could defend for 3. It's not the worst. Our recovery is technically better than 3, so I don't love it. But we have run and gun to get ready, and it plays around exhaustion to some extent. But I think we want to stay ready because there's an encounter card that just says Juggernaut attacks a minion. And if you can't be ready to block that, you can lose the game as soon as turn 1, especially because Juggernaut already has 4 attack. So I think we just have to take this to our face. 3, 4, 5, 6. Building momentum, we take 6. Encounter card. Creeping Willow. All right. This we can deal with. This is what we're talking about, guard and quick strike. So it comes in, it's going to attack. And anytime it does damage from attacking, it stuns that character. So actually here, we probably want to block. We'll defend for 2. And then we don't take any damage, so we don't get stunned. It's technically the same as like wasting an attack, but we don't take damage. And we don't get stunned. Sort of. All right, it's back to us. So we have overkill, which is fine. We can deal with the Creeping Willow. No problem. I think we want to jump down. I don't think we're that scared of Juggernaut scheming for 1 in a card. I think we could jump down this round. We still haven't found any of our alter ego cards. Already get pretty hurt to some extent. The question is whether we take the helmet off. Taking the helmet off when you jump down, there's no point. Because when you take the helmet off, when Juggernaut schemes, the helmet just comes back on. So if we want to just like run and gun here, we could run and gun, run and gun, run and gun. We could attack or recover. So this is that. We could play nowhere to set up taking a damage. That's fine. It's good to have nowhere early. We've only seen like 2 minions, maybe 1. Yeah, I like that. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, run and gun. Hold on. Before we do that, of course, we will take 2 damage here. Then we'll run and gun. So we wake ourselves up in all our weapons. Okay. We will multi-gun to take 2 threat off of here. Hope will attack, doing 2 damage, defeating the Willow. We will take a damage with our hero ability to play nowhere. It's a nice card. If we keep the helmet off, we can chump block with allies, which is really powerful in Marvel Champions, but obviously overkill makes that hard. So we need to keep the helmet off, just keep playing allies. I think here we just flip down. Otherwise we can do 3 damage. We waste the pistol here, but I'm okay just recovering. I think we're better as the game scales. And so recovering for 4 for safety seems okay. We'll pass. Drop, keep up the pressure, savage attack, build support. That's a nice setup. Grasping tendrils, run and gun. And our 6th card is man on the wall. So glad that we drew that on the right side, but there's only 4 more minions in the deck. So I don't even know if we prioritize it. This will go up to 1. Juggernaut's going to scheme for 1 in a card. No additional text. Boost on this says take 1 indirect damage, ground pound. Okay, we'll just take it. I want to keep Hope alive, so I'm not going to take it to Hope, but easily could. So that means we're scheming for 2. So this goes to 3. Trample. Ooh, this one's scary, right? This is a really bad one. Take 2 indirect damage. Yeah. This is the one that you have to play around. So on turn 1, we could have lost to this. Attacks the ally with the fewest remaining hit points. That would easily been Hope. So that's why we didn't want to block on turn 1. I think there's 2 of these in the deck, but this is the card that you can easily lose to. So we'll just take 2 indirect. We'll just take it to her face to keep Hope healthy. So we're down to 8. All right. We don't have a Guardian to play for nowhere. Run and gun is some value. It's like okay value. It's definitely worth playing. I think the build support is worth something here. So if we play build support, we play man on the wall, we can't play run and gun. So maybe instead of build support, we play keep up the pressure because it's free. We play man on the wall and then we play run and gun taking a damage and we can recover 4 here. That's fine. So first we'll play man on the wall. Probably not worth it. It's just a fun card. So I want to play it, and we're soldier only on this side. It's kind of neat though. Like the turns that you have a minion engaged with you are the turns that you probably need a bit more help to some extent. And so Man on the Wall is nice that you get it exactly when you need it. We'll recover for 4. I just want to stay healthy here. And then we'll flip up. We're going to waste our weapons, so we'll might as well take 2 threat off of here. Is this the turn that we take off the helmet? No, I think we're going to wait for another double. We'll play Keep Up the Pressure. Again, this plays around Master Plan. Comes in with 2 threat. When we clear this, we get a card, and our events are better. Then we'll take 1 damage to play Run and Gun. So we're ready. Guns are ready. We'll attack for 3 to the villain. We'll attack for 2 into the villain. We'll multi-gun for 2 into the villain. We'll pass. Draw up. Behind enemy lines, that's really good, especially on a turn if we can remove the helmet, because behind enemy lines confuses. And so if we can take the helmet off, that's perfect. We're looking for a double here. Gamora, Firepower, Run and Gun the last one, and Groot. So no double. The only way we can get rid of Juggernaut's helmet, I guess with the wild on Groot, it's a lot easier. So behind enemy lines needs 2 mentals. So Groot and our ability means we can't take the helmet off. Unless we can get a minion here, maybe? This goes to 2. Juggernaut's attacking for 4 and a card. We really should have taken that helmet off by now. We can't block here because of that card trample. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Head of Steam. Ow. Oh. We're set up to deal with this. I wanted Man on the Wall. We got Man on the Wall. Oh, wait, no, this is not Shadows. So either Exhaust Flash Thompson and take 2 damage. We can't do that. It says put 1 set-aside copy of a ranged symbiote into play, engage with the first player. If you cannot, this card gains. That's perfect. 1 copy, discard this. That is fine. Do we want to flip to Alter Ego? I don't think we have a reason to flip to Alter Ego here. If we had our Rebirth pod, we would. So we'll just put 1 symbiote into play. Again, it does have guard and patrol. We are exhausted. No, we're not exhausted. No, so we can, yeah, we should flip down. We will flip down because we can recover and flip up. Why wouldn't we? Unless we need our activation. Slightly too zoomed in. Okay, we'll do that. So we are flipped down and then we won't exhaust flash. I'd rather have this thing in play. Okay, it's back to us. So here, if we play a Guardian, we can draw a card. Man on the Wall gives us a resource, which is good. If we want to clear the helmet, we can. I think this card hand is a bit hard to do it. I think the easiest way to clear the helmet is just to take a damage and spend a double. And there's still 2 doubles into our deck. So I think we'll wait for that turn and just build up an ally here. I think we'll prioritize by playing an ally. It might be Groot because Groot blocks for 6, which is pretty good. It might actually survive 1 Juggernaut attack. So if that's the case, if we do 1, 2, Man on the Wall for Groot, Groot draws a card. It's not great. It is not great. Oh, but then we take 1 to play Run and Gun. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. We'll recover 4. Taking a lot of damage, that's for sure. So we'll recover 4. We will flip up. Man on the Wall generates a resource because we're engaged with a minion. And we'll spend 2, 3 for Groot. We could have considered playing Gamora instead to get more cards, but I think this is fine. 6 health, we're Guardian. And if Groot survives a block, which you could block the Rage Symbiote, you heal. That's nice. Nowhere fires. So not only does Nowhere give us an additional ally slot, but we draw a card. Ooh, Spider Sense. Is that better than Run and Gun? It might be. I think it really is. There's a lot of attacks. Just getting more cards is obviously good. Oh, wait, there's way too many spider cards. What did I do? So Spider Sense basically says whenever you, it has Peter Parker's text or Spider-Man's text from the core set. I think we'd rather play that and save the damage. Because behind enemy lines doesn't do enough. Yeah, we'll play Spider Sense. Okay, so Hope doesn't take consequential, knocks at the symbiote. We will just multi-gun to keep this in check, and we'll pass. Now with Groot 2, we can actually block Juggernaut, because if Juggernaut attacks this minion, we can block with another ally. We can block with another ally. And we'll draw up 5. Quinn Carry can't play it. Helicarry could play it. Last Pistol, Rocket. Behind enemy lines, no double. So there's so many doubles in our bottom, like 9 cards, 7 cards. We might draw 1 with Spider Sense. Goes to 1. Juggernaut attacks for 4 and a card. Technically, it attacks us first, so we draw a card. It's not a double. We'll block with Groot here. So it's 4 and a card. 5, 6, 7. So we take 1 and Groot is defeated. So we don't get any of Groot's good text. But yeah, Groot, you were 3 cost toughness. That didn't even work. 1 encounter card. Making green. I don't remember this. Hinder 2. Each copy of Creeping Willow gains Surge and has 4 threat on it. That is not my favorite. This should be ready. Okay, we want to get rid of that. The more encounter cards, more likely Juggernaut to attack us. The more Juggernaut attacks us, the faster we lose. So what do we have here? Can we get rid of the helmet? We are incentivized to play Rocket here, so we draw a card. Because Rocket functionally costs 2 and Rocket threats for 2, which is good. So if we can keep 3 of the same type of resource, so we could do Quinn Carrier behind enemy lines and Venom, we can clear the helmet. Now the problem is, behind enemy lines, if we want to go for the Confuse, we can't, because we have no more mentals. That'll leave us with this hand. I think that's what we do. So we do Quinn Carry behind enemy lines, take 1. That's fine. So we clear the helmet. Then we do 1, 2. Ooh, that's not great. I think if that's the case, we play Rocket first, see what Rocket draws with nowhere, and then make the decision. So we'll spend 2. Plus, oh, we can't take the damage. Oh no, this is always awkward. I guess we play Bug instead, because Bug is cheaper on 2 and draws a card anyways. And we can chump block with Bug next turn because we flip the helmet. Yeah, that's probably a bit better. So we'll do Helicarrier, Rocket, for Bug. Nowhere draws a card. It'll be a double. It's not. It's the Hall of Heroes we've never played. So as long as we're attacking, Bug will stay around forever. Okay. So I don't think the order here that we do this matters. We will spend 3 mentals to flip the helmet. So this says, spend 3 resources of the same type, remove each momentum counter, and flip this. When this is flipped, you lose Stalwart, you lose Overkill. It's attached to Juggernaut. And now Juggernaut takes an additional damage from each card with a printed mental resource on it. So Hope Summers counts. Bug does not. And after Juggernaut schemes, you place a momentum counter and flip this back. And so far we've seen no advances, so that can just happen out of nowhere. But also now we can get the Confuses and jump down. So a bit of risk, a bit of reward for sure. Multi-gun. We'll just take 2 off of this. We need to clear this. Hope. We'll take 1. To play our second pistol. Wait, if that's the case, we should do this in a different order. Yeah, because we can thwart for 3. Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay. Bug with thwart for 1. Hope with thwart for 1. And then we'll attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. Villain's down to 5. Okay, we're not decking out. We're going to draw all our doubles, which is not great to draw those together. We need to remember to draw a card. We probably need to get a Confuse and flip down, but I don't think we have any Confuses left. Oh, Nick is good. Genius, Firepower, Strength, Project Rebirth. We are going to deck out if we want to deck out when we get attacked, because Spider Sense is optional. There's a chance here that we shouldn't do the Spider Sense, because I don't know if we're set up really well for another encounter card. Oh, this should be a 2. Let's just see what this is. It's a Rocket Boots, which, do we want to draw that now? I don't think so. I think we'd rather draw double encounter when we get Nick down this turn. So I think we're actually going to lose a Spider Sense value. This goes to 2. Juggernaut attacks for 3 and a card. That could flatline us for sure. We could block for 4 here. We don't have that much else to do. We'll have Nick in play. I think we actually will block for 4. So we'll exhaust 2 pistols and ourselves. So we'll block 4. If we get that encounter card, we'll just block with Bug. So 3, 4, 5, 6 from Siderax Exemplar. So we take 2. Down to 4, and we draw 1 encounter card. Same card. In expert mode, this card gains Insight 1, so you put 1 threat on the main scheme. If Juggernaut Exposed is in play, flip it and place 1 momentum counter on it. No. Otherwise, place threat on scheme equal to Juggernaut's attack. That is a very bad way to lose, because the more counters, the worse this does if the helmet's not off. And then this hits harder. It's like a really, really big snowball. So unfortunately, we're back here, but at least we have the doubles to deal with it. So Juggernaut back to Stalwart, back to Overkill, attacks for 4. Okay, we're on 4 health. We probably need to flip down. We have Rebirth in our hand, which is good. If we play these for Nick, we're likely to be able to find something to get the helmet off again. Even maybe get it confused in the same turn. So I'll pay 4 here, and we'll just play Nick. And with Nick, we'll do the classic draw 3. So we draw what we know to be the boots, get an encounter card, and draw 2 more. I'm still kind of scared about our health, but we hadn't taken the helmet off until the last deck cycle, which is usually pretty strange. In a lot of decks, I'll take the helmet off as soon as turn 1, just because it is that important. I think it's more important than playing a lot of our setup cards and a lot of heroes. Especially if you have Confused, for sure. The Stalwart sucks. Here, I don't know if we jump down right away because Nick Fury can jump block, but maybe if we don't take the helmet off, we'll jump down. Because Overkill makes Nick a lot worse. The cool thing also is you can just keep up the pressure to get a card, and that card could have the matching icon you need. So we have to draw 2 more. Strength, that's good. Gamora, also good. Nick is not Guardian. Okay, so I want to play Rebirth. And that leaves us with 3 of the same kind. So we could consider getting rid of the helmet, which I think we said we would. Yeah, I think we do. If we play Gamora, we could do 1-2, take a damage, play Gamora. That draws a card. That's unlikely for us to take the helmet off of. So I think we're just going to lose at the nowhere value and take off the helmet. So 5 damage. What happens when we advance Juggernaut? When you advance Juggernaut, I think he gets a toughness. I don't think it impacts the helmet, but I think it puts the helmet back on. I forget what happens, because sometimes you want to advance Juggernaut while the helmet's still on, because then I think it's just a toughness. But I'm pretty sure if you advance Juggernaut to Juggernaut 3, you have to reattach the helmet. Let's check. Search and counter deck for Head of Steam and reveal it. If Juggernaut exposes in play, otherwise give Juggernaut a tough status card. Yeah, so no matter what, it flips back. So if we want to defeat Juggernaut, we should do that before anything else. So let's consider that. Because the table has a lot of damage. We can easily advance Juggernaut and then jump down. So I think we will. So Nick will go in for 2. Down to 3. Rifle for 2. That will come at the cost of threat. So let's not do that. Hope Summers will attack for 3. No, it's only for 2 because of 1. Yeah, well, she'll attack for 2. And then Bug will attack for 1. And that'll defeat Juggernaut. So we go into Juggernaut 3, who comes in with 25 health. Big number. We now have to do all this text. Gets still now +1 attack. Schemes harder, attacks harder. Search and counter deck for Head of Steam. We just got that. If Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it. Otherwise, give Juggernaut a tough. So that's fine. Head of Steam, we reveal it. So Juggernaut gets Retaliate X, where X is equal to the amount of power counters, or toughness counters, whatever they're called. Momentum counters. Attach Head of Steam to Juggernaut and place 1 counter. So it's good that we did that in that order, because when we clear the helmet, we clear all the counters at once. After Juggernaut attacks you, spend 1 resource for each damage dealt by that attack and discard this attack. I think if we hit this with the Grasping Tendrils, in theory it works, because the attack was canceled. I'm not sure. I know technically an attack went off because you fire all your defending clauses, but I'm not 100% sure if we do Grasping Tendrils and we cancel the attack, whether we can spend 0 resources. My gut check is probably, I don't think the attack is like fully canceled because it's still initiated. But it's not like stun, because stun cancels the attack. Stun replaces the attack. This just cancels the attack. So I don't know if it works. I think we'll just rule it on the harder way. But that's back to us. All right, let's get rid of this thing. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, strength and firepower to get rid of the helmet. So again, we clear the counters. So now we have Retaliate 0. Technically still has Retaliate. We take +1 damage. We lose Stalwart. We lose Overkill. I don't think we can jump down because then the helmet just comes back on. Still haven't seen an advance yet. I'm worried about our health. I am worried. Oh, we'll do 2 threat off the multi. We will play the boots sooner than we'll play Project Rebirth, just because the booster boots actually give us an ability to maybe not die, which we are the closest to death we've been in a long time. When we take damage from an attack, we can exhaust this to discard the top of our deck, which is nice. And I'll hold on to Project Rebirth because I think when we flip down, that'll matter. We'll pass. Okay. So worst case scenario is we draw an advance, which flips the helmet up, and then we get attacked. We could lose to that. 2, Grenade. 3, Groot. 4, Tendrils. So we actually can cancel an attack. 5, Build Support. So unfortunately, the rules question is going to come up here. This goes to 2. Juggernaut's now attacking. Oh, we didn't flip this. For 4 and a card. We'll block with Nick. This is the overkill. I guess we could die. 5-6, Shadows of the Past. That's good to not have. Nick is defeated. We draw 2 encounter cards. First one. Flatten. Ooh. Choose to either take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack, which is 4, or place one momentum counter. Okay. You can still place momentum counters on the Juggernaut's exposed, which is kind of funny. It technically does give him +1 attack and gives him retaliate 1, but you can't do that. Oh, ooh, that's bad. That's exactly terrible. So this gets insight 1. Wait, this is awful. If Juggernaut exposes in play, flip it and place one momentum counter on it. Oh, God. So now he has 6 attack. Flip it. Oh, that's all it does. Okay, good. If we were on the other side, this would have hit it. So we just have to take the helmet off again. He has retaliate 2. Flip it and place one momentum counter. Okay, that's good. It's back to us. That was scary. I really want to get the confuse, and I really want to jump down. Back to Stalwart. Back to Overkill. All right. We always have to ask ourselves the question too. Can we just do 25 damage? We have the setup to do 12 at least, but I don't think we have enough. No, we don't. Okay. So we can discard Groot, another card, and take a damage to set up, what's it called? To set up the, to take the helmet off. That's probably worth it. But I think we actually just have to play Groot so that we have Groot in play. If we play Groot, we can do like 1, 2, 3, and then we can draw a card with Groot. That's also pretty unlikely that we'll be able to remove the helmet. So maybe removing the helmet at all costs is the most important thing here. It probably is, unfortunately. We want to hold on to Tendrils. I think that is a safety valve that we want to have access to. So Tendrils is good. Oh, we forgot to draw from Spider Sense. Wait, yeah. Retcon. That helps. Yeah, Spider Sense would have fired there. Okay, so we have another card. That helped. So now we could do physical, take a damage to get rid of the helmet. Which means we can, in theory, play Groot and hope that we draw. Actually, it doesn't matter what we draw. No, it does. No, it doesn't. If we play Groot here, we do 1, and we pay 3 for it. So say that we do like 1, 2, 3. Then we need the card that we draw to be a physical. Yeah, that's not great. So we could do 1, 2, 3 to flip. Leaves us with this hand. The fact that Groots are wild is the hardest part here, because Groot is the card we want to play, but we also want to flip. And if we play Groot first, we draw a card. So we could do 1, 2, 3. Is there any way to make this make sense? Draw a card. Spend and hope. Yeah, I guess we do that. And worst case scenario, we throw out these cards. That's the worst case. Best case scenario is that we don't. We keep the Project Rebirth, or at least the Grasping Tendrils. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for Groot. Groot will be able to block, not you. Comes in with 6 health, is a Guardian, so we can draw a card off nowhere. It's not a physical, but it's behind enemy lines. Not good enough. Ooh, maybe this turn was bad. Yeah, this turn was probably not good. I think we need to keep our health up. We probably could just jump down regardless and keep the helmet on. This will go to 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's not good either. Yeah, not great. If we take the helmet off, we don't jump down. So I think that's what we do. We'll do 1, 2, take a damage, generating a wild, and we will take the helmet off. So we're back to retaliate 0. We haven't seen it advance yet, which sucks because that will flip the helmet. But we're down to 3 health. Ugh. We will multi-gun for 2. I wonder if there's a keep up the pressure line that we get another card just to be able to do this better. Because if we clear, keep up the pressure, we could maybe get a card that we need. We have a sequencing error with Bug, which is unfortunate. There's a small chance Groot survives 2 attacks, because Juggernaut probably attacks for around 5 to 7. But we could attack for Groot, but then Groot definitely dies. So I think no matter what, we're going to waste some damage here. So Hope will attack for 3, taking the toughness off. Venom will attack for 4 with the pistols. We will attack with Bug, who heals. Actually, I'll just thwart with 1 for Bug. And I think we'll pass. I think we'll hold on to this, because if we can get this confuse off and flip down, we'll be in a good spot. We'll pass. 3 health, I'm really scared. Luckily, we have a lot of like health soak. 1, 2 on allies. 2, 3, that's good. 4, 5. This might be enough to finish. 21's a lot of health, but maybe that's enough to finish. This goes to 1. Juggernaut's attacking for 4 and a card. We'll block with Groot. 5 damage. It says give Juggernaut a tough status on flatten. So 5 damage. So Groot goes down to 1. And then because Groot survives, heals up to 3. Pretty good. The tough is annoying, but can't be too upset. Well, that's probably bad. Breakthrough. When revealed, either take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack. That will kill us. Discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control. That's a disaster, but we don't lose. So that's good. That's really good. Okay, so we lost our good gun. Not the most important thing, but definitely a good gun. So now we can set up behind enemy lines, which is a bit useless. It's a bit overkill, but it gets us confused so we can recover. So that's okay. Bug's in a bad spot. We should be ready. Oh, we should have Spider Sense drawn a card. Excuse me. Okay, need to remember that. I'll put that over here so I remember. There's like exactly the spot here, which is right behind the microphone. Bad things happen in that spot. Okay, Firepower is worth playing because Venom's pistols don't do anything this round, so that's okay. We'll try and recover. So we need to take the toughness off. We don't have an easy way to do it. I don't think we're going to play an ally. I think we just need to push it for damage. So we definitely need to play behind enemy lines, and we need to generate the mentals for it. So we need to spend 2 mentals for this. We'll do Quinn Carrier. And if we do Rocket, that's fine. We can hold on to the run and gun. So that is remove 3 threat from a scheme. We spend only mental so we get the confuse. So hopefully the helmet doesn't flip sooner than anything else, and that's good. We want to recover 1, so Bug's in an awkward spot. Hope will attack for 3, taking the toughness off. I wonder if Bug is worth like 3 damage here, or whether we just want to keep the safety blocker. I think the safety blocker is worth something. Then we will Helicarrier into Firepower. Nope. We'll exhaust 2 weapons, and so this will do 6 damage. Down to 15. I think that's all we got here. We'll flip down, and we'll recover for 4. I'll hold on to this, because I think we're 1 good turn away from winning. Because keep up the pressure, we have Firepower set up, we should be in an okay spot. And then we can attack with all our allies. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, more damage, 5, 6. Okay, double savage attack is okay. That's all we got. So this goes to 1. Juggernaut would scheme, but is confused. And if I'm not mistaken, on Juggernaut exposed, it says that after you scheme, you would flip back. But Juggernaut didn't scheme. The activation is replaced. This could be an advance. Oh, it's a breakthrough. Is that bad? When revealed, either take damage equal to Juggernaut's attack, which is 4, or discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control. At that point, that would be Spider Sense, which that seems acceptable. Actually, let's just get rid of Nowhere. Are we going to fire Nowhere? No. We'll get rid of that. Checking. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Good old damage check time. Hey, Lion, how's it going? Catch you live again. Welcome back. Thank you. We've been gone for about a month. It's really exciting to be back. Welcome to the new studio space. If there's certain things that are not right, like the lighting and all that sort of stuff, we're going to get to it for sure. But I'd love any feedback. Glad you can make it. We didn't announce the stream. We're not even sure what our schedule looks like. Okay, I have no doubt we have lethal here. It's a shame that we don't have our gun. We're losing like 4 damage, let alone an easy way to keep up the pressure. In fact, how do we get this off? I think we thwart for 2. The firepower is less good as well on the basis that We only have 2 guns here. But I think we can still do it, especially because it makes the savage attacks better. So let's flip up. Okay. I think this game needs more cards that have double resources on them, but they're actually cards that you want to spend. Like if we could use Keep Up with the Pressure to draw an attack event, and the attack event is good, but it has 2 resources on it, like it makes the calculations, I think, a bit more interesting. Okay. So Run and Gun is actually only worth 4 damage. In some ways. I think we're just going to full send. 15 damage, I think we have it. So Groot will attack for 2. Doesn't have a mental. Hope will attack for 2 + 1, so it's 3. Will attack for 1, 2. How do we do the most damage here? I think we definitely have it. We don't have to be precious. So will attack for 1, 2. Sorry, with thwart for 2. Player Keep Up the Pressure. Yeah, we 100% have it. So then we have to go ahead and search our deck and discard pile for an event, add it to our hand. All events do more damage. Genuinely, there's no event that actually matters here. We'll just grab a firepower. So all attack events deal additional damage. So that's fine. We will go ahead and play 1, 2. We'll take a damage to generate a wild. We'll play Run and Gun. Wait, should we do this? I don't think it matters. So we'll play Run and Gun. I think there's a way we can do more damage because we're losing 1 pistol here. The pistol is a 1 for 4, which is like totally fine. So that readies us and all our weapons. So then we could attack for 4. Then Savage Attack does 6. That's fine. Or we can just do this. Oh no, we can't. We're 1 resource short. Yeah, that's fine. So then we'll just go ahead and play 2 for Savage Attack. Savage Attack does 5 damage + 1, so that's 6 damage. Down to 4, and then we'll attack 1, 2. Pistol, pistol for 4. That's it. Has Retaliate 0 for what that's worth. I know the Retaliate knob is there, but is attached to the momentum counters, and that is Juggernaut. So far, so good. That was actually tense. We got to points where we were close to getting nuked. Again, prioritizing keeping your health up was good. I don't think we were able to lock down the helmet as much as I'd want to. Like generally your game plan is keep the helmet off and then just like string confuses. That's pretty effective. I think every copy of Advance is still in this deck, which like that will catch up to us at a bad time. There's one. I think the second one's still in here. Yeah. So we got a bit lucky there. But otherwise we were staying afloat. And just recovering a lot. I really wanted to get that Rebirth 2.0, but we couldn't get it there. All right, still to date, haven't lost a Venom game. Probably should not advertise that because it's only going to put the pressure higher. But yeah, Venom's okay. Like, I don't know. The kit doesn't seem as synergistic as other heroes, where the decisions you're making are just basically like how to push the most numbers the fastest, as opposed to like the moving parts. Obviously, this hero was designed a couple years ago, and I think a lot of people actually really like Venom because playing with guns is fun, and you do feel really powerful as a build-in hero. I do think like even Iron Man, you have to make more decisions because also how you set up is really important. But this is like kind of like Iron Man, but also less like Iron Man. The whole like weapons subtype, weapons matter. I think we've also seen that in other characters. I think I like how Rocket Raccoon plays a bit more, and I really like how War Machine plays out more. The bottom of our deck is not bad, but yeah, it's just run and gun, go good, number go high, go Venom. This is the part of the stream where firstly I say thank you. So thanks so much for hanging out. If you've been new to this channel or you've been subscribed for a while, sorry that we're gone for a bit. We should be back. I stared directly into the light. Shouldn't do that. We'll definitely be back. I can't tell what that will look like. Like maybe we'll try and end up streaming every like Sunday morning or maybe Tuesday evenings work. We'll figure something out. And as soon as I know something that makes sense, I'll let you know. I don't think I'll have time for the next little bit to edit videos. What I'll probably do is trying to figure out a workflow that editing takes less time because I just have less time, unfortunately, for stuff like this that I enjoy doing. But maybe we'll just do less quality and we'll do less editing and there'll be more like weird gaps in the videos. I cut down the videos so there's less gaps between pauses and stuff while I think. And I do think that helps, especially because the videos are really long as they are. Maybe we'll just stream more. I'll find out. Venom is quite popular in my community as well. Yeah. And I think it's just because Venom's fun and Venom like feels powerful. But yeah, I don't know if I like the decision space as much as some of the other similar kind of heroes. Anywho, so patience with that, if you don't mind. If you want to subscribe to the channel that does and hit the notify button, you'll know when we go live at weird hours. And I don't want to say that as like a weird, threat because I don't have a schedule, but hopefully, that makes some amount of sense. That's mostly it. Super excited to be back. As soon as Trickster Takeover is here in Canada, we'll definitely play it on stream. I will reserve my first playthrough for it for stream for sure, the cold playthrough. Excited for that. I do think Enchantress looks really fun. I honestly still don't understand Loki, but I haven't read it, so that will make it a bit easier, hopefully. And I think that's mostly it. Around the corner, a couple weeks out, if we're lucky in Canada, we'll have the new box, just like everyone does, but bracing for maybe having it in November. If that's the case, that's the case. That's mostly it. Again, thanks so much for hanging out. Welcome to the new studio space. It's quite nice. It's actually easier to use than the last one, so it should be easier to put together some content. I think that's it. Shout out to everyone in chat if you're having a good time. If you want to support the channel, you want to leave a like on the VOD, that actually helps a heck of a lot, more than you think you know, because this channel is not really well advertised, and so the more people engage with this, the more likely it is to be recommended to other people watching Marvel Champion stuff on YouTube. Thank you, the stream Stiddy. Thanks so much for dropping in. And with that, hopefully y'all are well, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, y'all. Ciao. Where's my mouse? Did this thing? No, it's not off. Hold on. Yeah, I found it. Bye now.